What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 5 centigrams Chapter 92 Send you a pair of gold and silver axe heads. Complaining about the useless weak chickens in the group, Xuan continued to negotiate with Charlotte Linlin, who said the Fishman Island is your territory. Charlotte Linlin hummed dissatisfiedly. My flag hangs there, it's my territory. Xuan said dismissively, bullshit. If I hang your flag on Mariajoy, that's your territory too. Charlotte Linlin drooled angrily and said angrily, you are messing around. Xuan said with relief. That's great, you finally understand what I mean. Everyone is a pirate, what's the use of you talking about it? I'm not unreasonable. Charlotte Linlin's face darkened, knowing that it was impossible not to pay the price, she said angrily, then what do you want? Xuan said with a smile. I heard that you like to marry others the most. How about marrying me? As far as I know, it's good that you have a few daughters. Charlotte Linlin stunned. Are you sure? Xuan said indifferently. Of course, don't you think it is the most appropriate way to solve troubles through cooperation? Charlotte Linlin laughed. That's right, cooperation is indeed the best way to resolve disputes. Do you like my daughter? Katakuri has a photo album of our Charlotte family on board, choose one. Xuan laughed. Okay, no problem. Hanging up the phone, Xuan looked at Katakuri with a slight smile and asked, how is it? Charlotte Linlin treats you sons and daughters a little too casually? I am the enemy of your Charlotte family, and she makes you cute. My sisters let me choose. Katakuri asked worriedly. Are you serious? Reverse, want to marry our Charlotte family, 357? Xuan said indifferently. There are a few women in your Charlotte family who are quite good. Whether it's looks or ability, I can feel wronged. Katakuri's face sank, you must not wrong yourself. Xuan looked at Katakuri with a smile and asked, you seem very unhappy. I advise you to think about this issue from a different angle. Following me, a good-natured man, has a better future than following a moody crazy woman like Charlotte Linlin. Right, at least safety is guaranteed. Katakuri thought this was the case, so he happily took out the album of his Charlotte family. He opened it up for Xuan and turned to the part of female members. These are my sisters. If you can really help them out of their misery, I will thank you. Katakuri looked at the sisters in the album and said with emotion. Looking at Katakuri, who was full of emotion, Xuan said very shamelessly, to be honest, your gratitude is worth nothing to me. Katakuri was choked for a moment, and silently walked to the side and stopped talking. In the chat group, Shiki the Golden Lion couldn't help but ask, are you really going to marry the Big Mom pirates? Xuan. What marriage? It's just an excuse to ease the tension between the two sides. Charlotte Linlin and I both know that it's impossible for us to be true allies. Whitebeard. That's right, the alliance between pirates is basically betrayal at the end. What's more, the woman Charlotte Linlin only believes in her own family, that is, the children she regards as a tool. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, what about her husband? Shiki the Golden Lion. Gia ha ha ha. I know this, Charlotte Linlin's husband will not be regarded as family by her. Basically after their children are born, her husband will be abandoned by her. Senju Hashirama. This woman is really hard to describe. Wait, what's up with these women in the album? Don't you mean they're all Charlotte Zero's daughters? They don't look alike at all. Looking at the bizarre women in the album, Senju Hashirama said that his third was shocked. Xuan. What's weird about this, do you remember Charlotte Linlin's dream? To make people of different races all over the world family. Senju Hashirama. Masaka. Senju Tobarama. Could it be that? Whitebeard. Just what you think. This woman married a man of a different race and had children of a different race. Charlotte Linlin used this method to achieve her goal of making people of different races family. Howard Stark. What more can I say? I'm speechless. Just looking at the shape of these women I can imagine their father's bizarre shape. Charlotte Linlin is a woman with too much taste. Golden Lion Shiki. No ha ha ha. What are you afraid of? Charlotte Linlin is also a grotesque guy. And don't get me wrong, Charlotte Linlin is an ambitious woman. It wasn't just her ridiculous dream that she had so many children. Quote. Senju Hashirama. Wait a minute. While I think Charlotte Linlin's behavior is ridiculous, I don't find her dreams ridiculous at all. Senju Hashirama said that while he can't stand Charlotte Linlin's heavy taste and bizarre behavior, the dream of having people of different races as a family is not at all ridiculous. Shiki the Golden Lion. Isn't this dream funny? It is difficult for people of different races to become a family, let alone people of different races. People of the same race are killing each other, and you want people of different races to kiss each other. Like a family? Idiot talking about a dream. Golden Lion Shiki unceremoniously satirized Senju Hashirama, revealing the harsh reality. Senju Hashirama said righteously, no, I believe that as long as people have love in their hearts and understand each other, they can achieve this seemingly ridiculous dream. Xuan reluctantly said, shut up, First Hokage, your concept has long been proven wrong. Dreams and love are consciousness, and consciousness is subject to matter. Whitebeard. Old la la la. I agree with this, dreams and love are too nonsense. Just like the current ocean, there is only one place for One Piece, but there are countless people who want to be One Piece. Can dreams and love solve this kind of problem? The gold thief Wu Nan. There is too little treasure, and there are too many people who want it. Everyone can understand each other's feelings of wanting treasure, but so what? It still doesn't solve the problem.
Li Zan. Well said. Hashirama, this is the problem of the ninja world. The ninjas want too much, but the ninja world has too little. If there is not enough points, the number of ninjas can only be reduced by war. Quote. Senju Hashirama. Can't you make things more? Senju Tobarama. Brother, you are too idealistic. Some things are easy to say but hard to do. Senju Hashirama was silent. Shiki, the golden lion, pulled the topic back. Where did you just say? Senju Tobarama. Charlotte Linlin had so many children for her own ambitions. Shiki the golden lion. Yes, Charlotte Linlin is an ambitious woman. She is a natural monster with extraordinary talent, and the children born are not weak. Not to mention becoming a top powerhouse, she will become a backbone after hard work. It's still possible. Howard Stark. So she used her talent to build a strong family. Li Zan. Correct answer. The Big Mom pirates in the Four Emperors Pirates were formed with the Charlotte family as the core. Howard Stark. It's so powerful. Whitebeard. Charlotte Linlin is a woman who is constantly looking for strong people to reproduce in order to build her own strongest family. When I was on the same boat with her, I was harassed by her. Howard Stark came interested. And then what? Whitebeard. Then I refused. She was very upset, but I wasn't easy to mess with, so she gave up. Shiki the golden lion. Just like me. Gold thief Wu Nan. Although I haven't been in the same boat with you, this bitch has also harassed me. I rejected her, but she is still entangled. Howard Stark. Huh, then you're very attractive. The gold thief Wu Nan. Maybe. Of course, it also has a lot to do with me robbing her treasure. Howard Stark. Outside world. Li Zan looked at Charlotte Pudding in the photo and said to Katakuri next to him with a smile. This is good, I want it. Katakuri looked at Charlotte Pudding with bangs in the photo. After hesitating for a while, she said the truth. I have to remind you that she is a three-eyed clan. Under her bangs, there is one that is not very beautiful. Eyes.
Charlotte Pudding is also ridiculed by many people in the Charlotte family because of her third eye. Katakuri also thought about not reporting the information, but when he thought about the consequences of doing so, he finally told the truth. Yes, you are honest. Don't go in a hurry, I'll give you a pair of gold and silver axe heads. Li Zan glanced at Katakuri with relief and said with a smile. Am I honest? Katakuri was stunned. You already knew about this?
Li Zan said with an inscrutable expression. Don't underestimate my intelligence ability, few people in this world can surpass me in intelligence ability. In the chat group, Shiki, the golden lion, asked very curiously. I can tell from your conversation that you didn't choose this little girl because she was good looking, can you tell us the reason? Li Zan replied. Because this little girl is demon fruit power, she ate Paramesha memory fruit. She can pull out people's memories to check, delete and modify them at will. One Piece Roger. Nani. You can view, delete, and modify other people's memories. How can there be such a terrifying devil fruit ability in the world? Golden Lion Shiki asked curiously, Roger, do you care about your memory? One Piece Roger. Of course. The adventure time with my friends and the pursuit of ideal memories with them are the most precious treasures in my life. Senju Tobarama. To be honest, this ability is really terrifying. In the ninja world, only the Yamanaka clan have the ability to view other people's memories. And the ability to modify memories. Unless it's a top-level illusion, it's impossible. Do it.
Li Zan. Sharingan can also browse other people's memories. Senju Tobarama. This is a special blood-based limit, not a secret art. And this kind of evil ability, let's not mention it. Senju Tobarama is big on Sharingan, outside world. After Li Zan finished selecting Charlotte Pudding, he continued to look through the albums of the Charlotte family and selected a woman who conforms to the aesthetics of normal people, Charlotte Garrett. Plus, with this, Charlotte Garrett, the only normal-looking woman in the Charlotte family, I'm intrigued. Li Zan looked at the Katakuri on the side, just these two, forget the others. Katakuri hesitated. Two? Mom might not agree. Li Zan smiled, pointed to Cracker beside him, and said, 2 daughters of average value for 2 sons with super strength. I believe Charlotte Linlin will make the right choice. Don't forget, you are just tools for her. Isn't it normal to exchange them? 2 weak people for 2 strong people, and she made a lot of money with a fleet and my friendship. Li Zan looked at Katakuri with a smile and said, if you don't believe it, we can make a bet, should we try it?
Katakuri was silent for a moment, then shook his head weakly. No need to gamble. If you win, I believe that what you said will come true. With sadness in his heart, Katakuri gradually accepted Li Zan's proposal to overthrow Big Mom's rule. Very good. You are my captives now, and of course I give you the right to communicate freely. 3.7 inches when your mother brings her 2 daughters over, you can go. Li Zan nodded with satisfaction, and didn't let Katakuri and the others leave immediately, to prevent the mad woman from Andy from doing any tricks.
Li Zan jumped to the Black Arm Zephyr's ship in the distance, and said to the Black Arm Zephyr. I have already discussed with Charlotte Linlin, Katakuri and the others are our captives now, let your people deal with it.
Although Katakuri was given the right to speak freely, in order to prevent his subordinates from causing trouble, the procedures that should be followed should still be followed, such as putting on seastone chains or something. What did you talk to that crazy woman Charlotte Linlin? Black Arm Zephyr asked curiously while ordering people to take prisoners.
Peace. Li Zan said frankly, I talked to Charlotte Linlin about peace, because now is not the time for war with her. Black Kneeling Zephyr wondered, you can beat Kaido of the Beasts, but you can't beat a Charlotte Linlin? Li Zan smiled and said, I'm sure I'll kill Charlotte Linlin, but what about after? I've killed 4 emperors, plus Blackbeard counted as 3, will the world government remain indifferent? Black Kneeling Zephyr nodded and said, that makes sense. The power of the world government should not be underestimated, and now is not the time for a head-on conflict with the world government. Black Arm Zephyr, who used to be Marine Admiral, has a relatively comprehensive understanding of the power of the world government. He said seriously, perhaps your power surpasses the Admiral 4 emperors, and no one can fight alone. But war is not one-on-one. The world government will not fight you alone. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 93 Top Agents, Unexpected Joy. When Golden Lion Shiki entered the naval headquarters alone, how high-spirited. But he was still defeated by Garp and Sengoku and sent to the underwater prison. When facing pirates, Marine never said anything about fighting alone. Rules.
The Golden Lion actually only lasted 3 days and 3 nights against Garp and Sengoku, but the power of the world government is definitely stronger than Garp and Sengoku combined. You may not be killed against them now, but it is impossible to win. Black Arm Zephyr was afraid of Li Zan's swelling, and patiently gave him the horror of popularizing the world government. It's a pity that Black Arm Zephyr doesn't know, Li Zan has a deeper understanding of world government than he does. Without persuasion, Li Zan would not act rashly. With the super plugin of the undead chat group, Li Zan will not take risks, and wait for it to become stronger and crush it, right? Huh, Mr. Zephyr, I'll leave it to you here. It's almost done over Wano-kuni, it's time to wrap things up. Li Zan received a letter from Shadow Clone and said goodbye to Zephyr with a smile. Crocodile, I have a mission for you. The Don Quixote family is making trouble on my turf, and they'll leave it to you. Li Zan looked at the crocodile in the distance and directly summoned a Shadow Clone, letting him leave with the crocodile using the Flying Thunder God technique. On an island on the edge of the Whitebeard pirates' territory, Doflamingo and his Don Quixote family are wreaking havoc here. The numerous underground forces involved in today's incident were basically provoked by him. As the mastermind, he naturally could not stay out of it. Knowing that doing so would offend Li Zan, Doflamingo had no other choice. After all, he has been working with Kaido of the Beasts for many years, and he does not have the courage to cooperate with Li Zan. After all, not everyone is as foolish as Kaido of the Beasts. What happened to those 15 Li Zan who suddenly appeared just now?
Doflamingo frowned slightly. Li Zan's shadow clone fell from the sky and then disappeared directly into smoke, giving Doflamingo a lot of psychological pressure. Brush. Before Doflamingo was finished, Li Zan's shadow clone brought Crocodile to the place where the shadow clone disappeared.
Li Zan, Crocodile. Doflamingo looked confused. How did these two get together? Give it to you. Li Zan's shadow clone smiled at Crocodile, his body rose straight into the air, and he stood in the sky and looked down at them. Shadow Clone's ability to take damage is almost zero, and this Shadow Clone has no ability to Doflamingo. So he chose to stand in the sky to watch the battle, and if the situation was not right, he used self-release to deliver the message. Doflamingo glanced at Li Zan in the sky with great fear, then looked at Crocodile in front of him and said, Crocodile bastard, what the hell is going on? This is different from what we said before. Crocodile glanced at Doflamingo unhappily. If it wasn't for the unfortunate one who sent him a message to let him come over, he wouldn't have encountered this series of things today, so it's all Doflamingo's fault. Bastard Ming, die for me. Crocodile grinned, and with a sharp wave of his palm, a huge tornado of sand and dust flew towards Doflamingo. Doflamingo soared into the air, dodging the dust tornado, looking at Crocodile below and said, You bastard Crocodile, you took refuge in Li Zan? It's unbelievable that you would do something for someone else? Crocodile sneered. What does this have to do with you? Die honestly. Doflamingo solicited. Since you are willing to do things for Li Zan, why don't you want to do things for me? With me you are a partner, with Li Zan you are just a subordinate. Crocodile sneered. You also want me to be your subordinate, but you don't have that ability. Doflamingo, I told you in Summit War, right? If you want to cooperate with me, unless you want to be me's little brother. Doflamingo laughed in a low voice. What an unsophisticated guy, I'll let you go this time. He raised his head and glanced at Li Zan in the sky, and said with a chuckle, Although I don't know the reason, this Li Zan doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. Doflamingo activates his string fruit ability, and a thin line connects the buildings and even the clouds in the sky. The soles of his feet step on the thin lines and move continuously, walking in the sky away from here. You just let him go.
Looking at the distant Doflamingo, Crocodile looked at Li Zan with a look of surprise and asked in confusion. This guy is very interesting, I have to let ontology deal with him. What's more, he is the mastermind of this incident, wouldn't it be a little disrespectful to have me as a clone to solve him? Li Zan's shadow clone chuckled and explained calmly. Wano-kuni. The people of the Beast's pirates fought fiercely with the people of the Whitebeard pirates, and a group of agents from the world government sneaked into the cell where Kaido was being held. Found it. Looking at the huge figure wrapped in the pitch-black curse mark in the distance, the agent standing at the front calmly put away Kaido's lifecard, waved his hand and led someone towards it. Coming. A world government agent? It was a pleasant surprise. Li Zan's shadow clone, who was staying beside Kaido, smiled and disappeared into smoke. Immediately afterwards, Li Zan's body rushed over with the Flying Thunder God technique. As soon as he came over, he saw a group of men dressed in black regime rushing towards him. Go away. Purple lightning flashed around him, the invisible conqueror's haki swept out, and the tyrant's territory quickly formed. Plop plop. One after another, there were agents on the ground, and they couldn't bear the pressure of the top conqueror's haki. Even if they are well trained, they can only ensure that they are conscious. Their spirits were impacted, and their bodies were too weak to move. Only the 3 agents standing at the front did not fall down. The front agent had a pale face and exuded a terrifying aura no less than Marine Admiral. And the 2 agents behind him also have the level of the Naval Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral. Top operatives of world government? The strongest spear and shield of celestial dragons? Interesting, what a surprise, come on, let me check your fineness. With a bright smile on his face, Li Zan hooked his fingers at the 3 in front of him, his tone full of provocation. Insanity, Silver Fox sneered, he is the top secret agent of the world government, he is not under Marine Admiral and Emperor Marine in terms of strength, and he is also one of the top few people in the entire Secret Service organization. With his strength alone, even the Celestial Dragons and the 5 Elders have to give him a certain amount of respect. There are not many people who provoke him like Li Zan, and basically all such people are sent by him to meet the King of Hell.
Go to hell. The silver fox flickered with electric lights, and silver lightnings jumped out of him constantly, as if putting a layer of lightning coat on him. He moved quickly, rushed to Li Zan in an instant, and rudely stabbed Li Zan's heart with a finger pistol. Logia Thunder Fruit ability, Enel is finished. It shouldn't be. Li Zan was puzzled, this was different from what he knew. The top armament haki turned into invisible armor, which easily blocked Silver Fox's lightning finger pistol. Wrong. This guy is not a Logia Thunder Fruit power user, his body is not elementalized when he uses the power.
He's Paramisha's demon fruit power, discharge fruit? After a simple fight, Li Zan saw the details of the Silver Fox and decided that the opponent was not someone who wanted the power of the Thunder Fruit. When the Logia Devil Fruit ability uses the Devil Fruit ability, the body will be elementalized, and then the corresponding elements will be produced from the elementalized parts. The Silver Fox in front of him is not like this. His attack is mainly based on physical skills, mixing lightning and armament haki, and there is no sign of elementalization. Die. Silver Fox had just been blocked by Li Zan, and the 2 Vice Admiral level government agents around him shot at Li Zan and wanted to cooperate with Silver Fox to surround and kill Li Zan. A pair of finger tigers made of sea stone were worn by the 2 of them, and they repeatedly shot at Li Zan, trying to restrain Li Zan with the sea stone on their hands. All 3 of them are strong in physique. It's interesting. Come on, touch. Li Zan laughed, the top armament haki mixed with the white halo of shock fruit, a flame ignited on the halo, and the lightning fist against the Silver Fox was a violent fist. Click. The sound of the air shattering sounded, the silver lightning and the white halo violently collided, and the flames were scattered everywhere.
Your strength is not enough. Li Zan looked at the silver and white that were colliding with each other in front of him, and let out a long laugh. The huge force surged out like a mountain, and the Silver Fox flew out in an instant. I hold him, you release Kaido. The Silver Fox who was blasted out felt that his internal organs were about to be shattered, but his loyalty to the world government made him endure it, and he turned his head and instructed his 2 subordinates. As long as Kaido of the Beasts is released, I can join forces with him to defeat Li 357 Zan. The Silver Fox smirked, and his face showed a touch of madness, he wanted to kill the Jedi. Want to release Kaido? Yes, if you can. Li Zan smiled and said nonchalantly. As soon as he stepped on the ground, the entire ground turned into flowing gold, and strips of liquid gold rose up beside him, turning into soft spears, and the sharp tips covered the top armament haki. Golden gun. Reverse kill. Li Zan waved his palm lightly, and the golden spears rushed left and right beside him, stabbing the 3 agents in front of him. Why, don't you want to save Kaido? Come here quickly, all the flowers I've been waiting for are thankful. Seeing the 3 agents dodging in embarrassment, Li Zan said with a smile. Go. A fierce look flashed in the eyes of the Silver Fox, and powerful lightning and armament haki erupted from his body, instantly suppressing the surrounding golden spears. The 2 Silver Fox's subordinates took the opportunity to rush towards Kaido, and rushed towards Kaido as if at home. If Li Zan strikes at them now, their chances of survival are slim to none. However, Li Zan did not take the opportunity to kill them, but looked at them with interest, watching them put their hands on Kaido's body.
The exclamation sounded, and just as the palms of the two agents were placed on Kaido's body, the pitch-black spell on Kaido's body glowed red, causing them to feel a hot sting. Idiot! You want to destroy something that can trap the strongest creatures in the world? It's so naive that I want to laugh. Li Zan laughed mercilessly and sarcastically. Retreat. Silver Fox's expression changed, and he was about to withdraw with a wave of his hand. Late, since you're here, don't leave. There is something in you that is exactly what I need. Li Zan chuckled and stomped his feet. The gold on the ground flowed like liquid, condensing a dozen golden chains that rose into the air and slid towards the three agents. Gold conducts your ability to overcome me, but unfortunately, your lightning can't penetrate my haki. With a smile, Li Zan wrapped a layer of armament haki on the golden chains and manipulated them flexibly, tying up all three world government agents. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.
Chapter 94 Ant, do your best. Li Zan's golden chains tightly bound the three agents of the world government. The top armament haki covered in the golden chain makes it impossible for them to destroy the golden chain. Not only that, but under the control of Li Zan, the top armament haki covered in golden chains began to infiltrate the bodies of the three agents, destroying the inside of their bodies. The strength of these three agents is very good, and the strength of the leader has reached the level of Marine Admiral. It would be troublesome to trap them without having emission haki inflict serious damage on them. After the inside of the body was destroyed by emission haki, the three agents were really honest. Li Zan walked up to them, slapped them one by one and left a seal on them, then threw them next to Kaido. In the chat group, the Golden Lion Shiki asked curiously, why didn't you kill them? These world government agents are different from Marine. Their loyalty to the world government is not comparable to Marine. Whitebeard echoed. That's right. These people are all agents of the CP agency. They are basically trained by the world government since childhood and are loyal to the world government. The strongest one should be one of the strongest shields of celestial dragons. Li Zan. I know they are loyal to the world government, but they also know a lot of secrets that I don't know. One Piece Roger. You want to get a secret from their mouths. It's not easy, their mouths are hard. Golden Lion Shiki. Stupid Roger, you forgot what Li Zan did before. The memory fruit person is in place. One Piece Roger. The memory fruit is Paramesh's devil fruit. Don't you all know that Paramesha devil fruit's ability is flawed? This guy is too strong, and the little girl of the Charlotte family may not be able to obtain his memory. Li Zan. If the memory fruit can't do it, then use the secret art of second Hokage. Senju Tobarama. Me, I don't know how to check other people's memories of the secret arts. That's the secret arts of the Yamanaka family. Li Zan. Don't come. You are the man known as the master of forbidden technique, how can this kind of thing be difficult for you?
Senju Tobarama. Haha. You really know me well, that's fine. If the memory fruit ability is really useless, I will give you a secret technique to check other people's memories. Whitebeard. The world government actually sent people to release Kaido of the Beasts. What did they think? Hundreds of songs. Kaido, a scumbag, was courting death in private, but he caused them a lot of trouble. Li Zan. Who knows? Maybe they came to steal Kaido of the Beasts and want to take it back to Vegapunk for experimentation. It's just that they were unlucky enough to meet my client, so they changed their minds and released him. Outside, the Whitebeard pirates and the Beasts pirates fought fiercely. The high-end combat power of both sides are physical monsters, and they won't be able to hold on for days and nights. The two sides launched a protracted battle, and so far there has been no winner. It's over. Li Zan appeared on the battlefield, the awakening ability of the golden fruit was activated, and the land under his feet was quickly assimilated into gold. What happened? Flash away. Seeing the golden yellow rapidly spreading from a distance, many people dodged around in horror. Golden tree world is born. Li Zan shouted in a wicked way, and strips of golden vines rose into the sky, wrapping armament haki and entangling towards the members of Beast's pirates. Go away. Get out of the way. The members of Beast's pirates looked at the golden vines that were entangled in their direction, and they were constantly dodging or carrying hard. It's a pity that under the cover of Li Zan's top observation haki, all of them can't hide their actions. In addition, these golden vines are all commanded by him like an arm, and they will continue to attack if they miss a hit. Some members of the Beast's pirates, seeing that they were unable to dodge, attacked the golden vines, trying to destroy them. It's a pity that these golden vines are covered with top armament haki, and these members of the Beast's pirates can't do anything about it. Blood Knight. Shiryu of the Rain waved the famous sword Thunderstorm in his hand, the bright red pattern like blood flashed on the sword, and the blade covered with armament haki slashed fiercely on the flying golden vines, but even the armament haki defenses on their surface were smashed. Not broken. The ashes released high-temperature flames, which were unable to melt the gold in front of them. The ground beneath his feet has been completely turned into gold, and this area has become Li Zan's home ground. Yan Ash wanted to lift off and escape, but the locks formed by gold bound his feet. The epidemic disaster Quinn is even more unbearable. After he became a dragon,
his huge size and terrifying power were originally his advantages. Unfortunately, facing Li Zan's golden offensive has become a weakness, because Li Zan's golden home field has more than him. Great range and power. It's over. The three highest cadres of the beast's pirates were bound by golden chains. Emission Haki began to destroy the inside of their bodies, making them suffer against Emission Haki without the ability to break free from the chains. The three top cadres were all subdued, not to mention the others. Under the encirclement and suppression of the golden chains, one by one lost the strength to resist, and was bound firmly by the golden chains. Lord Li Zan, what to do with them? Margao vibrated his own flame wings and flew over, asking Li Zan.
Lock them up with Kaido of the Beasts. Li Zan thought for a while, and quickly made a decision. The members of the Beast's pirates are basically Zone Devil Fruit power users, each with a strong body, which is the best material for experiments, and can be used as auxiliary materials for Kaido of the Beast's research. If these members of the Beast's pirates are willing to give up on the dark, he doesn't mind a few more lackeys. It is said that Beast's pirates recruits new recruits by means of imprisonment and captivity to make them submit. Li Zan can be regarded as repaying his own body. The site of the Big Mom pirates, Wan Guo. The most central part of the Sea of Nations, the Cake Island. After Charlotte Linlin ended the call with Li Zan, she had her two daughters called over, laughing and telling them that they were going to marry Li Zan. Charlotte Garrett and Charlotte Pudding looked at each other and asked in disbelief, "Let's marry Li Zan? Mom, are you serious?"
The daughter of the Charlotte family has never been married, and the Charlotte family, who is a big family, only recruits son-in-law. Only those who marry Charlotte Linlin's daughter can become a cadre of the Big Mom pirates as an outsider. Well, oh well, there's no way. That guy Li Zan is not a good friend either. If he really entered the Cake Island, I wouldn't dare let him in. The ant gave a strange laugh and said bluntly, "One mountain does not allow two tigers, even one male and one female." Charlotte Linlin is still a little self-aware, and no man can admire her now, let alone Li Zan. A male and a female tiger cannot be paired, and there is a risk of devouring each other. I formed an alliance with him, and your marriage with him is the bond between us. But you have to know that this so-called alliance is actually very fragile. So I want you to lie in ambush by his side. Once you find him, if you have any unfavorable thoughts on me, let me know.
Charlotte Linlin gave the order in a gloomy tone, letting Charlotte Garrett and Charlotte Pudding be her eyes and ears lying in ambush beside Li Zan. Charlotte Garrett and Charlotte Pudding dared not refuse, and nodded obediently. Charlotte Linlin didn't say much. She believed her daughter would not betray her. After all, they have only one mother, and there are men all over the world who can be their husbands. That's Charlotte Linlin's view of maid selection. She's doing the best she can, and she's doing the same for her daughters. Charlotte Linlin's eldest daughters, who are as romantic as she is, have had several husbands change. Relying on their strength, they harmed many beautiful men from good families, and poisoned many young people who didn't want to fight. As long as you know, do well, don't let me down.
The ant opened her mouth and laughed, her saliva dropped, she picked up 2 pieces of snacks infused with soul, threw them into her mouth, and squatted presumptuously. On an island under the Whitebeard pirates. Ice Age. Aokiji, who had resigned as Marine Admiral, activated his Devil Fruit ability with a blank face. The ability of Logia Frozen Fruit is powerful, creating a large amount of ice in an instant, freezing the pirates who are burning, killing and looting on the island. What the hell? Li Zan's territory is so chaotic. Xingshang scratched his greasy hair, looked at the few escaped fish in the distance, and asked curiously, "Don't you know that this is the territory of the 4 emperors Li Zan? Come here to be presumptuous and lose your life." A pirate replied tremblingly, "We have received news that Li Zan is now pushed by the wall. The Beast's pirates, the Big Mom pirates and countless forces in the underground world are all targeting him, so I want to keep up and make a bargain." Quote. Aokiji suddenly realized. It turned out to be a follower of evil. You guys are really brave. After saying this, Aokiji threw out 2 frozen time capsules and cleaned up the fish that slipped through the net. At this moment, a figure in the distance quickly flew towards this side and landed in front of Aokiji. It was Li Zan's shadow clone. "Kuzan, why are you here?" Li Zan's shadow clone was a little surprised, looking at Aokiji's homeless appearance. He should have quit Marine.
Indescribable. Xingshang, who was still forced, sighed and told about his experience. After losing the battle with Marine Admiral Akainu, he was disqualified as Marine Marshal, and Akainu became Marine's new Marshal. Xingshang had a lot of interactions with Akainu when he was Vice Admiral. When the two participated in the Ohara Buster call together, he was quite dissatisfied with Akainu's justice. Akainu's willingness to sacrifice ordinary people in Marine's name made him very dissatisfied, and he was unwilling to accept the leadership of such people. So after the Black Arm Zephyr defected to Marine, he also left Marine alone. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 95 World Government, Ministers and Concubines Can't Do It. The bewildered homeless Aokiji, thinking of what Li Zan had said to them at Naval Headquarters, decided to come to him for advice. Li Zan's shadow clone didn't rush to give him an answer, but just told him that he is very busy now, and there are many pirates who have come to make trouble and need him to clean up. Aokiji, who still has a sense of justice in his heart, volunteered to help, and was led around by Li Zan's shadow clone. Finally, after everything was settled, Li Zan's shadow clones all returned, and Aokiji was brought before Li Zan. Mr. Zephyr. Looking at the black arm Zephyr beside Li Zan, Aokiji greeted him with some emotion. Black arm Zephyr also sighed and said, Kuzan, have you left Marine too? Alas, the current Marine is not what it used to be. Kuzan sighed and said, I'm so confused right now, I don't know what to do. What Li Zan said made me feel like I found something, so I wanted to ask him for his opinion.
Li Zan said with a smile. You came to me, it shows that you have already made a judgment in your heart. What you want is just an affirmation, right? Aokiji was silent for a long time, then slowly said, is the world government really hopeless? Li Zan replied affirmatively. Yes, the world government is out of the question. So, give up your unrealistic fantasies. Xingshang said solemnly. There are still countless righteous people in Marine, can't they save the world government? Li Zan sneered. Marine saved world government. Don't be kidding. Marine can't even save himself, so he still wants to save world government. Let's talk about other things when they can make their own decisions. Xingshang was speechless. The current Marine was indeed infiltrated by the world government. Especially after Akainu became Marshal Marine, the world government's control over Marine became stronger. After all, Marine Marshal Akainu was promoted to the position with the support of the world government. The competition between Xingshang and Marine Marshal of Akainu can also be regarded as a confrontation between Marine and the world government. Sadly, Marine lost. Li Zan said casually. The survival of the world government does not depend on whether Marine is just or not, but on the attitude of the celestial dragons and the five elders towards ordinary people. It's a pity that they don't take ordinary people seriously anymore.
Aokiji's expression was heavy. He also knew the history of world government. 357. A few hundred years ago, world government and celestial dragons were far less rampant than they are now. But as time passed, they became more and more arrogant. Li Zan said with a sigh. The destruction of the world government is not due to ignorance and weakness, but to their arrogance. Aokiji pondered for a moment, then looked at Li Zan solemnly and said, You want to overthrow the world government? Li Zan said calmly. Of course, I can't stand the idiots of celestial dragons standing on my head.
Aokiji asked. What would you do if you replaced celestial dragons? Li Zan laughed. Kuzan, you don't think the world government's job is difficult, do you? I tell you, it's not difficult at all. Just reduce the exploitation of ordinary people and suppress villains around the world.
Xingshang was stunned. It's that simple? Li Zan said speechlessly. Then what else do you want? After all, this is a rotten world. It is impossible to be perfect, but it is not difficult to be better than the world government. Whether it is good or bad depends on peers. However, the counterpart of world government is rotten. Aokiji was speechless. Li Zan was right, and he couldn't refute it at all. With a sigh, Aokiji asked seriously, if I want to rely on you, how can I gain your trust? Li Zan smiled and said, You don't need to do anything, I can trust you. Then you will work with Mr. Zephyr to maintain the law and order of our territory. The Beast's Pirates' territory was basically taken by Li Zan, and he now needs more manpower and fighting power to maintain his territory. Black Kneeling Zephyr thought, if Aokiji joins us, will our power be too strong? The world government may fear us and make us the first target to eliminate. Li Zan shook his head and said, Don't worry, it won't. In the eyes of the world government, Kaido of the Beasts, an undead monster, is holding our power, and the Red Hair Pirates and the Big Mom Pirates are inseparable from us. Separation is not enough to make them feel jealous. Black Arm Zephyr nodded and said, That's good. I also thought that if we were too strong, we would send Aokiji out to fight for the position of the 4 emperors left by Kaido of the Beasts. Aokiji laughed. Let one of my ex-Marine Admiral compete for the position of Pirate Emperor? The world government and Marine will be furious when they find out.
In the chat group BFDH, the Golden Lion Shiki wondered, Li Zan, are you sure that the world government will not be afraid of you? Aokiji is a super strong person no less than Charlotte Linlin. Li Zan, I'm pretty sure. In another future I know, Xingshang joined the Blackbeard Pirates after defecting from Marine. At that time, the Blackbeard Pirates were also the 4 Emperors Pirates, but Marine and the world government reacted not much. Whitebeard. Nani, that bastard Blackbeard can become the Pirate Emperor and let Aokiji join him. One Piece Roger. I'll bet that Xingshang must have bad motives when he entered Blackbeard's command. Golden Lion Shiki. Li Zan, I still don't understand. Why did you refuse to destroy the Big Mom Pirates, but agreed to let Aokiji join you? Aokiji is not much different from Charlotte Linlin's strength. Whitebeard. Old la la la. Golden Lion, you have been out of touch for too long. You know too little about the 4 Emperors Pirates, they are not the pirates of our time. Golden Lion Shiki. The difference is big. Whitebeard. Of course, the 4 Emperors Pirates can even be regarded as a small world government. Just like that mad woman Charlotte Linlin, she is the celestial dragons of the 34 island kingdoms. Senju Hashirama. I see. The 4 Emperors Pirates are a small world government, and they are considered colleagues of the world government. The reason why the world government did not exterminate them is that they want to use their viciousness to set off their kindness. Gold thief Wu Nan. As Li Zan said before, good or bad depends on the peers to set off. The world government keeps them to set off itself. Shiki the Golden Lion. I see, I understand. Although the addition of Aokiji made Li Zan's influence stronger, the powerful world government could not cover it, not to mention New World and other 4 emperors who hindered Li Zan. The world government doesn't even need to take action personally, it only needs to provoke a fight between the pirate emperors, and they will be able to trap Li Zan. But if the Big Mom pirates are destroyed by Li Zan, the 4 pirate emperors will be destroyed by him, and the remaining red hair pirates will not be able to cover them. This is the rhythm to unify the new world. With a large enough force, it is possible to fight with the world government or even replace them. Li Zan. It's really tiring to engage in these intrigue. I really hope that a strong enough group member joins the chat group, so that I can suddenly have the power over the whole world. I really hope that a strong person from the fantasy world or Shenxia world can join the chat group, give him an invincible talent, let him punch Uranus, kick Yimu, and throw all celestial dragons into impel down to pick up soap. Outside world. Li Zan made 2 preparations. On the one hand, he worked hard to increase his own strength and power, so that the world government would not dare to act rashly. There are so many magical things about him, it would be strange if the world government was not interested. Without sufficient strength and power, the world government would have long since arrested him recklessly. On the other hand, Li Zan controlled his own strength, and the provincial government terrified the world government. In case the world government gets excited and gets the an ancient weapon out of their bottom to deal with Li Zan will also be very distressed. Although as long as he wants to run, with Lion Fruit ability and Flying Thunder God technique, the world government can't help him no matter how awesome it is. But now he has a big family and a big business, and he doesn't want to be chased and run around in shame. He also wants face. Lord Li Zan, the list of forces that took advantage of us has been compiled. Haisha Jinbei came to Li Zan and handed him a list of the names of the forces that attacked the Whitebeard pirates' territory. Germa 66. Good. I haven't gone to trouble you yet, but you are robbing me first. Looking at a name that appeared on the list, a sneer appeared on Li Zan's face. In the chat group, One Piece Roger asked suspiciously, do you have a grudge with Germa 66? Li Zan. No hatred, it's just that they have something I'm interested in. Shiki the Golden Lion. What? Something that can interest you must not be an ordinary object. Li Zan. Biotechnology. Germa 66 Masters Biotechnology is not under Caesar. If I can't catch Vegapunk, I can only use Caesar and Germa 66 to supplement my lack of knowledge. Fire Fist Ace. Germa 66. I seem to have heard this name somewhere, where is it? Can't remember it. Fisher Tiger. The comics in the newspapers, some of which tell the story of Germa 66. The notorious army of evil, relying on technological weapons to rampage North Blue, is the enemy of the great hero Sora. Fire Fist Ace. That's right. As soon as you said it, I remembered it. I've seen cartoons like this. Germa 66 is not fictional, it really exists. Li Zan. Of course. Germa 66 is the exclusive army of the North Blue Germa Kingdom, commanded by the royal Vinsmoke family. The Germa Kingdom once ruled North Blue by force, but finally chose to give up under the pressure of the world government. Golden Lion Shiki. Understood. It's just that New World has other peers. After all, the environment here is harsh and the area is small, and there is no force that can replace world government. But North Blue is one of the 4 basics of world government. It's no wonder that the government can tolerate the unification of other forces here. Gold Thief Wu Nan. The Germa Kingdom is unified as North Blue, did the world government destroy them? Li Zan. Although it was not eliminated by the world government, the Kingdom of Germa was also deprived of its territorial status. Fire Fist Ace. No territory. What kind of kingdom is that? Li Zan. The Kingdom of Germa has very advanced technology, and they domesticated large snails. They built palaces and forts on the backs of snails, and turned them into mobile fortresses at sea. Shiki the Golden Lion. Is there such a thing? Their technological strength is good. Li Zan. It's more than good. These mobile fortresses can be pulled by snails and moved on the sea, which is better than the marine warships with turbines. When they stop and combine, they are a sea kingdom. Gold Thief Wu Nan. Is there such a way of playing? The power of technology cannot be underestimated. Li Zan. Although Caesar and the Kingdom of Germa both study biotechnology, their research directions are very different. The biological knowledge in their hands is exactly what I need. Shiki the Golden Lion. What are they studying? Li Zan. Clone. They use science and technology to make human beings, and all the soldiers of Germa 66 are made with science and technology. So they are all outstanding, and they are loyal, brave and not afraid of death, and they can give them to themselves without expression. Commander block the bullet. Howard Stark. Is there such a thing? I must see. Howard Stark, who came from the world of ordinary people, knows very well the meaning of this clone soldier, which is simply the best death squad. Li Zan. I'll let you know when the time comes, but you'd better not expect too much from it. This cloning technology, Like Paramesh's devil fruit ability, should also have flaws. Howard Stark. Flaws. Same ability as Paramesh's devil fruit. Li Zan. That's right. Cloning technology is like cloning, taking blood from a good soldier, and then cultivating the blood into a living person, exactly like that good soldier, with the same powerful talents.
Shiki the Golden Lion moved in his heart and understood what Li Zan meant. If they took the blood of me, Whitebeard and Roger, can they make another of us? Do people who are made from our blood have talents like us? This is the flaw of cloning technology. Li Zan was surprised. Golden Lion, you reacted fast enough. Shiki the Golden Lion. It has nothing to do with the quick response, the main reason is that I thought about it with them. If a person can be copied perfectly, it must be a powerful copy. Since you said that the cloning technology has the same flaws as the Paramecia devil fruit, that should be it. Shiki, the Golden Lion, is an ambitious man. He can think about his dominance when he hears anything, so he thought of these for the first time. Li Zan. The Golden Lion is right. People with a certain level of talent and strength cannot be copied by cloning technology. Otherwise, the Kingdom of Germa would have already ruled the world. With the abilities of the Kingdom of Germa, it is not difficult to get blood from the Pirate Emperor, Marine Admiral. Copy 10,000 loyal Whitebeards to form an army, and I am and Uranus must kneel and sing conquest. Even if the Kingdom of Germa can't Vegapunk get the blood of Marine Admiral? His biotechnology is much better than the Kingdom of Germa. The carrier of the pacifist, the clone of Bartholomew Kuma was finally selected. Can't the world government get the blood of Ant and Kaido? No wonder they can't get it. Even if the blood of Big Mom and Kaido can be obtained, is it difficult to get some blood for these Whitebeards who are unconscious and drip every day? If Whitebeard's blood can't be obtained, Bullet and Red Earl imprisoned and impelled down can't get their blood either? These are all 4 Emperor's level superpowers, and their physical strength far exceeds that of Bartholomew Kuma. Isn't it good to use their clones to create pacifists? The world government did not do this, it only shows that the cloning technology is flawed and they cannot do it. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 96 The Right to Choose. Hello, Li Zan, I am Pelosparrow, the eldest son of the Charlotte family. A man with a candy cane in his hand and his long tongue curled in the air said to Li Zan with a smile. He is the candy minister of the Big Mom Pirates, Paramecia's fruit ability, the backbone of the Big Mom Pirates, and is deeply trusted by Big Mom. This time, he led the team and brought his 2 younger sisters Charlotte Pudding and Charlotte Garrett to Li Zan to redeem his 2 younger brothers Cracker and Katakuri. 2 sisters, come out, like an old crow, Parasparrow greeted his 2 younger sisters, and soon 2 young and beautiful girls came down from the boat. Yes, it's them. Li Zan glanced at the 2 girls, nodded to indicate that the inspection was over, and waved someone to bring Katakuri and the others. Okay, you can get out of here. Li Zan said unceremoniously. I still have important things to deal with, so I won't let you eat. Katakuri turned his head and gave Li Zan a deep look, and said, our ship may need to be replenished, and I also have something to say to my 2 sisters. Li Zan glanced at Katakuri with a playful smile and nodded, that's right. Katakuri called his 2 younger sisters aside, and said to them with a serious look, I don't know what tasks my mother gave you before asking you to come, but I advise you to give up some bad ideas. Charlotte Garrett laughed. Brother Katakuri, what do you mean? We don't have the guts to go against Mom's orders. Katakuri persuaded earnestly. I know you were afraid of your mother, but now you are free. Li Zan's strength is only stronger than his mother's. If you anger his mother's name when you perform the mission, you will not be able to keep his name. You. Charlotte Pudding and Charlotte Garrett's hearts lit up and nodded solemnly, indicating that they knew. Katakuri hesitated for a moment, then said slowly, finally, I will tell you in the name of a brother, if Li Zan is willing to accept you so much, even if he betrays the Charlotte family, I will bless you all. Charlotte Pudding and Charlotte Garrett's eyes turned red when they heard Katakuri continue. As you know, the members of our Charlotte family are majestic outside, but in the eyes of Mother they are just a dispensable tool. That's it. Katakuri sighed, turned to leave, and a voice that was barely audible sounded slowly. As a pirate, we have never had the freedom we should have. But now, you are free. Far away. Li Zan and the undead in his chat group, relying on the powerful observation Haki, easily heard the conversation between Katakuri and his 2 sisters. Whitebeard. Old la la la. I never thought that Charlotte Linlin, a mad woman, could give birth to such a loving and righteous son. If I were alive, I would definitely find a way to make him my son. Whitebeard is not ashamed of Charlotte Linlin. The 2 pirates exist in the form of families, but they are completely different in core. Charlotte Linlin's family pays attention to blood relationship, and the family members are real blood relatives. Whitebeard's family comes from all over the world, and there is no blood connection with each other. Charlotte Linlin's family does not have the slightest affection, and her family and children are Charlotte Linlin's tools, and they can be abandoned when necessary. Whitebeard's family focuses on feelings, and family members are never allowed to hurt each other. One person is in danger and the whole family is desperate. People like Whitebeard who care about their family, the most despised people like Charlotte Linlin who use family as a tool. For Whitebeard, family is the most precious treasure, and it is absolutely not allowed to give up and hurt. Whitebeard thought that Charlotte Linlin's children were as cold-blooded and cruel as their mother. Unexpectedly, there is an alien-like Katakuri in it, persuading his sister to betray the family. Lee Zan. Katakuri is a good guy, that's why I thought about recruiting him. After Katakuri finished talking to his two younger sisters, Parasparrow and others quickly replenished food, fresh water, and drinks with a longer shelf life on the island, and then quickly left here. After a while, Lee came to Zan in front of Charlotte Garrett and Charlotte Pudding, looked at the two girls and said with a smile. You heard what Katakuri said? Now tell me, what kind of task Charlotte Linlin has given you? Charlotte Pudding gave a fake smile and said, Lord Lee Zan, what are you talking about? We don't understand. Lee Zan continued to smile and nodded lightly. I understand. You are afraid of Charlotte Linlin, and you haven't made up your mind yet. It doesn't matter, I will help you make up your mind. Charlotte Pudding and Charlotte Garrett didn't know why, and they were inexplicably worried. Lee Zan did not continue to talk nonsense with them, but took them to the residence that was prepared for them in advance, and said, You will live here in the future, and you can do whatever you want. 11. There's nothing shady here at Lee Zan, whatever Pudding and Garrett think. It doesn't matter if they spread what they see, there is nothing to keep secret here. Neither of them can see what really needs to be kept secret. In the chat group, Whitebeard asked curiously, What are you doing? Didn't you agree to subdue the two of them? Lee Zan. Am I doing it? It takes a process to subdue them. Golden Lion Shiki. It's so troublesome? Just bring the op fruit person over here and take care of them? Lee Zan. This method is not suitable for everyone and cannot be abused. I have a unique way to deal with these two little girls. Howard Stark asked curiously, Are you going to sell Hugh? Lee Zan replied angrily, It's not that exaggerated. One Piece Roger. What do you want to do? Lee Zan. Look, let's see how I can make a clean break with Charlotte Linlin. In the next few days, Lee Zan went to the second woman's place to sit every 3 or 5 minutes. Every time he stayed there for 2 or 3 minutes, he came out, and the longest time was no more than 5 minutes. He smiled and came out with a blank face. At the beginning, I went 2 or 3 times a day. Gradually, I didn't even go once a day. Soon, Pudding and Garrett received a call from Charlotte Linlin. As soon as the phone got through, Charlotte Linlin scolded Pudding and Garrett in their faces. What are you two doing? I asked you to go to Lee Zan's side to inquire about the news, and your relationship with him has become more and more estranged. Pudding and Garrett were stunned after hearing what Andy said. Estranged, isn't it? Combined with Lee Zan's actions in the past few days, it is easy to get a message from it. Lee Zan was very interested in their sisters when he first met them and went to see them several times a day. But the sisters didn't welcome Lee Zan very much, and Lee Zan couldn't stay for long every time he went there. Come in good times, and return in defeat. Gradually, Lee Zan lost interest in them. After carefully recalling Lee Zan's actions in the past few days, after connecting them and getting the information Lee Zan expressed to the outside world, Pudding and Garrett's faces collapsed. Lee Zan counts them. What they thought was meaningless, there was such a calculation hidden in it. Charlotte Linlin scolded Pudding and Garrett and ordered them to behave well. She must win Lee Zan's favor and become Lee Zan's confidant. Only in this way can she get the most confidential information. Not only that, Charlotte Linlin also issued death threats to them. If I can't do this thing, what's the use of me asking you? So, don't let me down. Hanging up, Pudding and Garrett's resentment against Charlotte Linlin was at its peak. They're in the world and dare not express their dissatisfaction with Charlotte Linlin, but now that the Emperor is far away, they don't have so many scruples. For flowers, just when Pudding and Garrett were complaining, Lee Zan appeared next to them at some point, and asked with a smile, Have you figured it out? Pudding and Garrett were startled, and after seeing that it was Lee Zan, they calmed down and said helplessly, Isn't this all calculated against you? You have made us miserable. Lee Zan shook his head and said helplessly, How can you say that I hurt you? I'm clearly helping you. I helped you recognize Charlotte Linlin's true face, shouldn't you thank me? Lee Zan smiled and said to the second daughter, If it wasn't for me, Charlotte Linlin wouldn't blame you like this. But on the other hand, has Charlotte Linlin asked your opinion? Come up and blame you. She has asked about any of you? The secret? The Charlotte family's intelligence capabilities are top-notch in the entire pirate world, so Lee Zan's performance these days was known to Charlotte Linlin. What's more, this is Lee Zan's intention, and Charlotte Linlin knows these things are not surprising. After Charlotte Linlin found out about these things through her intelligence network, she didn't ask her two daughters whether it was true or not, and she didn't ask if there were any hidden secrets. Instead, she gave her two daughters a lesson. Lee Zan smiled and said, Charlotte Linlin asked you to collect intelligence for her, but never asked your opinion when she encountered a problem. Then the question is, will she really believe your intelligence? Seeing the silence of the two girls, Lee Zan continued to work hard and said, She doesn't even want to ask your opinions on such superficial information. When it comes to the core secrets, the information you have painstakingly passed on to her, she really would you care. After a pause, Lee Zan said casually, Look at her attitude towards you. You should also know very well that you are just tools that she can use. She has never regarded you as her family. Why should you treat her faithful? Looking up and down Pudding and Garrett, Lee Zan said with a smile, You two are very beautiful, but unfortunately they are Charlotte Linlin's daughter. You should know what kind of future her daughter will have, right? Lee Zan sighed and said with a look of sympathy, Whether you have someone you like or not, you will become her marriage tool in the future. Of course. You are here because you have become her marriage tool. Li Zan stared at them and asked, have you ever thought about it, what would it be without me? As long as there is a powerful pirate willing to rely on her, no matter how tall, short, fat, thin, beautiful or ugly, you are all chosen to marry. There is no right to refuse. Seeing Pudding and Garrett looking increasingly ugly, Li Zan smiled and said, if you don't like the husband that your aunt chose for you, then your future must be very sad. If you get lucky and meet someone you like, your future is equally tragic. Li Zan smiled and described a tragic future for them, because your husbands may be replaced at any time. When the aunt finds more valuable men, she will remarry you. After all, her daughter is limited, and she is willing to rely on her. Powerful pirates are infinite. Li Zan said slowly, if you want to use a limited number of daughters to win over unlimited pirates, you must maximize the value of each daughter. For example, if a daughter uses it multiple times, let them have more husbands and brothers. This is also the case. A way to grow the Charlotte family. Finally, Pudding couldn't take it anymore, pointed to his ear and yelled, enough, stop talking. Li Zan looked serious and said solemnly, so, now, do you want to completely fall in love with me? With me, you can get the right you have dreamed of for a long time, the right to choose. What you love is yours life. All knowledge, insight, wisdom and art are gifts for you. Li Zan is like a god, and he depicts a bright future for the two daughters in a serious manner. The two women were silent for a moment, then looked at each other and said slowly, we agree, go on. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 97. Settlement after the fall, make arrangements in advance. Under Li Zan's half-hard half-soft win, Charlotte Pudding and Charlotte Garrett chose to give in. Of course, for Li Zan, Charlotte Garrett is a tie-in, and what really matters is Charlotte Pudding. The ability to modify memory is comparable to that of Op Fruit, and it will become an important means for Li Zan to recruit his subordinates. Go and see the Silver Fox first. Li Zan took Pudding to find the world government's top agent, Silver Fox, and then overturned him with a fist, letting Pudding look through his memory. After trying it out, Pudding frowned and said, his strength is too strong, it's not easy for me to get his memory. Li Zan smiled and said, it's okay, just do your best. Li Zan used the secret technique of checking memory from Senju Tobarama, and cooperated with Pudding to look through Silver Fox's memory to get information about the Secret Service Organization. In the chat group, Shiki, the Golden Lion, said impatiently, how is it, as the most mysterious organization in the world government, how many experts are there in the Secret Service Organization? Li Zan. There are no less than 3 Admiral-level powerhouses, and the number of masters is second only to Marine. This is not counting the hidden masters and celestial dragons. The water of world government is really deep. One Piece Roger. 357. Does this mean that the world government has the ability to end the era of the great pirates? Li Zan. I can't say the same. The sign of the era of the great pirates is that there are pirates all over the world. Although the world government has a huge number of top combat powers, they alone cannot solve the era of the great pirates. Whitebeard. That's right, you bastard, don't underestimate the era that you have set up. No matter how many top combat powers the world government has, the number of hands is already the limit. It's not enough to put this number of hands in the world. Senju Tobarama. If they had multiple Shadow Clone Technique and Flying Thunder God Technique, maybe the results would be different. But now, even if they send all the Admiral forces, it's a drop in the bucket. Li Zan. What's more, it's impossible to send all their top players. Marijoy, Naval Headquarters, Impel Down, and New World Government are on the defensive side. They have too many places to station top troops. The Gold Thief Wu Nan. If you think about it this way, it seems that the world government is not so scary. Li Zan. It's scary, at least I can't kill them now. Whitebeard. You still want to shoot them to death? What a big heart. Li Zan. At Senju Tobarama, don't you have a secret art to modify memory? Senju Tobarama. No, what's wrong? Li Zan. I want to change Yinhu into my subordinate by modifying his memory, and let him break into the world government. Senju Tobarama. I think too much. How can there be such a terrifying ninjutsu in the world? Li Zan. That's true, but I have unfortunate news to tell you that although there is no such terrifying ninjutsu in the world, there is such terrifying Mangekyo Hitomi. Senju Tobarama. Nani? No kidding. Li Zan. No kidding, isn't the Mangekyo technique that forcibly distorts the will of others? Senju Tobarama. He didn't want to ask any more. Outside world. After Li Zan collected the information he wanted, he waved his hand expressionlessly, and the evil scientist Caesar then walked over and pulled the Silver Fox down to do the experiment. Trafalgar Law relied on his devil fruit ability to attack Caesar, and Monet was responsible for recording the experimental data. Evil Trio. Form. Lord Li Zan, is there anything else to do? Pudding obediently walked to Li Zan's side and asked, stroking his hair. Not yet. Li Zan shook his head, looked at Pudding's hair on his forehead, and suddenly reached out and pushed her palm away. Lord Li Zan. Pudding was stunned, and then saw that Li Zan lifted the hair in front of her forehead, revealing her third eye. Your eyes are very beautiful, don't feel inferior. With me, No one dares to laugh at you. Li Zan started slowly and said softly. In all fairness, as long as Pudding doesn't enter the blackened state, even if her third eye is exposed, her appearance is not ugly, but has a strange beauty. Ah! Pudding's face quickly turned red, and then a large amount of water vapor burst out, and the whole person felt dizzy. In the chat group, Senju Tobarama asked in amazement, "What's wrong with this girl?" Li Zan. Blame me. The charm was so great that she couldn't stand the excitement and fainted. One Piece Roger. This reason is really. Li Zan. How is it? One Piece Roger. Okay, this reason is good, unpretentious and true. Only an honest little man like the master of the group can speak such unpretentious truth. People. Roger, you have changed. You are no longer the dog you used to be. Because of the third eye, Pudding has suffered a lot from childhood to adulthood. As long as she sincerely accepts her third eye, it is easy to capture her heart. You. What did you do to Pudding? When Li Zan returned to the house holding the fainted cloth, Garrett was stunned, watching Li Zan stammered and asked. Li Zan replied. Nothing, just said a few words, and then she passed out. Garrett looked suspicious and asked in obvious disbelief, really? Li Zan smiled, turned off the perception of the dead in the chat group, took 2 steps forward and approached Garrett, and slowly opened his mouth under her dodging eyes. What did I do to her this morning? What can you do? Forget, you came to me by marriage. Garrett was speechless for a while. That's true. In this case, their sisters are all Li Zan's women. Whatever Li Zan did to them would be reasonable. Li Zan smiled and said, although we haven't done anything yet, outsiders all know that you are married to me. Even if I let you go, who would dare to ask you? Besides, are you losing money by following me? Garrett was silent for a while. Was it a loss? She looked at Li Zan carefully and found that Li Zan was quite handsome. He is strong and handsome, and he is not a loss at all. Thinking of this, Garrett immediately relaxed. Since there is no way to resist, you can only choose Zhenxiang. Looking at the gradually excited Garrett, Li Zan was silent and the other party's eyes were full of aggression. He seriously doubted that it was your body's eyes. This is not surprising to Li Zan. After all, he is good looking. Many people are stupid. He has long been used to it. As an excellent young man with 5 virtues and 4 beauties, Li Zan rejects the insults of female hooligans. But Garrett was so pitiful, he made her foolish with his kindness. Afterwards, Li Zan blamed himself very much, saying that it was all Garrett's fault. Garrett. After being speechless for a moment, Garrett hurriedly pulled up Pudding, who was pretending to be asleep, looking at Li Zan, who was about to show kindness again. Good sisters want to share their blessings. What's the matter with you secretly watching the fun? Garrett knew that Pudding was stupid and shared it with her generously. The next day, Li Zan boarded a cruise ship with the Pudding sisters and left the island for a vacation. This is also for the Big Mom pirates, so that the crazy woman Charlotte Linlin thinks that her undercover plan is going well. On the cruise ship, Pudding, who began to appear mature in his body, asked curiously, "Where are we going?" Li Zan laughed. "Golden City," Garrett said in surprise. "The biggest entertainment city in the world. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never been there." Li Zan said, "I don't have any ifs, just this time to see and see." In the chat group, One Piece Roger, outside perception has been reopened. Great, suffocated me. Whitebeard. Cruise ship, see, where is this going? Howard Stark. Needless to say, 2 girls for sure. Li Zan. It's not just for fun, but also to settle accounts and make arrangements in advance. Shiki the Golden Lion. Where to? Li Zan. The world's largest entertainment city, Garantazolo. A giant cruise ship made of gold, the world's most high-end amusement place. Gold thief Wu Nan. The owner of this entertainment city is not the golden fruit of this generation, right? Li Zan. Correct answer. This generation's golden gold fruit enhancing Tesoro is the owner of the golden CITY 3.7 Gulan Tesoro. The name of this cruise ship is named after him. Gold thief Wu Nan. Really? Well, I also want to meet the golden fruit of this generation. If you can build a cruise ship with gold, it seems that this kid has a lot of gold in his hands. Senju Tobarama. You said just now that you will settle accounts after the fall and make arrangements in advance. Does this have anything to do with the Golden City? Li Zan. Of course it has something to do with it. The members of the Germa Kingdom I told you before are now in the Golden City. They attacked my territory before and ran away. I will find them to settle accounts in the autumn. Li Zan. Tesoro Master's golden fruit ability has 1/5 of Bailey in this world. His strength is also very important. This time I will go and take him down. Golden City, Garantazolo. The huge and luxurious golden cruise ship broke through the waves, and 2 huge snail ships slowly leaned on it. 2 men in special combat uniforms got off a snail boat and entered the Golden City skillfully. They are the eldest son of the Vinsmoke family, Vinsmoke IG, and the second son, Vinsmoke Niji, who had previously robbed Li Zan's turf before being chased away by the seaman Jinbei. GG. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 98 Whitebeard. He gave too much. Not long after Germa 66's snail ship arrived in the Golden City, Li Zan's cruise ship appeared in the distant sky. After a few days of sailing life, Li Zan chose to fly with the lion fruit ability. Facts have proved that air transport is indeed the fastest one by sea, land and air, while sea transport is the slowest one. Germa 66 set off more than a month earlier than Li Zan, but arrived at the Golden City at the same time. The spaceship slowly landed and entered the harbor of the Golden City. Li Zan took the Charlotte sisters off the cruise ship, and gun salutes were fired in the Golden City. The golden splashes rose into the sky, and the golden powders were falling down little by little, looking like a dream. What a nice view. Sister Charlotte is very emotional, looking at the spray and powder falling from the sky. There are small stars in their eyes. In the chat group, the gold thief Wu Nan made a foul language. Damn it, this is a trick created by the golden fruit person? One Piece Roger. It's really luxurious. Today's young people really know how to play. How much does it cost? Golden Lion Shiki. Jia ha ha ha. Wonan, your style has been compared by a junior. Although your master has more gold than him, you don't have his luxury. The gold thief Wu Nan said sourly. I'm not the same as him, okay? I hate people like him the most. No matter how much money I have, I won't show off like this. The gold thief Wu Nan was a little depressed. Although he mastered 1/3 of the gold in the world, the gold in his hands was like a pile of stones. It's like Tesoro. This golden cruise ship is huge as a country. Looking at it makes people feel that 15 has a sigh of relief. Fisher Tiger. Wait. What's around that? Pirates in a pirate captain's hat, marine in a righteous marine, officials of the world government, the powers and responsibilities of the kingdom and the royal family. How are they so harmonious? Senju Hashirama. Really, ordinary people are not afraid of pirates, and pirates are not afraid of marine. What's going on here? Whitebeard. Old la la la, don't you understand? That's the power of money. Tesoro owns 1/5 of the world's Bailey, and this wealth is enough to allow him to do many things that are unimaginable to ordinary people. Gold thief Wu Nan. Let's hear it. I'm really getting more and more interested in this junior. Whitebeard. I heard that Tesoro used his wealth to bribe the world government and celestial dragons. His golden city is a country recognized by the world government and an affiliate of the world government. Gold thief Wu Nan. This is not surprising at all. When the agents of the world government talked to me, they also put forward similar conditions. Shiki the Golden Lion. No way, Nan, I remember you didn't have your own territory at that time. The gold thief Wu Nan. Yes. But the agents of the world government told me that they can help me grab another non-joining country of the world government, let me be the king, and then let that country join the world government. Senju Tobarama. This operation is really Li Zan. Enough, but it's not surprising at all. The non-joined countries of the world government are the targets of oppression in the eyes of the world government. Fisher Tiger. So what's up with these peaceful pirates and marines? Li Zan. Golden City is the largest entertainment city in the world, and this is the place to do business. The most annoying thing about doing business is fighting and killing. So under the power of Tesoro's money, this place has become the world-famous demilitarized zone. Li Zan. Tesoro bought the world government and celestial dragons, and the world government ordered that no fighting should take place here. Marines, officials and people from various kingdoms have to save face. As for the pirates. One Piece Roger. I bet there will be someone who doesn't follow the rules here among the unruly pirates. Whitebeard. Old la la la, that's right, the pirates will not give the world government face. After all, they're natural enemies, and they are not good for the world government's face. So Tesoro found the 4 emperors. One Piece Roger. Nani, Whitebeard. You should also know that the pirate emperor's deterrent power in the new century is much stronger than that of the marine and the world government. Islands that the world government and marine cannot protect can be protected by placing a pirate emperor's flag. Shiki the Golden Lion. Whitebeard, you were also bribed? Whitebeard. I wanted to say no, but he gave too much. Shiki the Golden Lion. I didn't expect you to be this, Whitebeard, I misread you. Whitebeard. Take it down. I have so many sons to feed in my hometown to help. I need money, understand? Li Zan. Understood. A penny can beat a hero, and the enemy of a hero is often poverty. Speaking of which, Li Zan couldn't help but think of a certain super strong who was defeated by hair follicles, and his enemy was also poor. Shiki the Golden Lion. Bullshit. How come I've never been stumped by money? Li Zan. Because you are not a hero, Golden Lion Shiki. Whitebeard. Old la la la, well said, well founded, no one can refute it. Li Zan. Heroes refer to those who have integrity and morality, not those who are unprincipled. Golden Lion, you have not been stumped by money because you will grab it when you have no money. Golden Lion Shiki. You're right, I can't argue with that. Li Zan. But those real heroes won't snatch other people's things even if they endure the cold. So when they have no money, it's really uncomfortable. Whitebeard. Goo la la la, well said, that's it. Tesoro gave too much money, and I couldn't refuse it when I needed it. So, I agreed to his request. I lent him my flag to deter him. Those pirates. One Piece Roger. Other people borrowed it too. Whitebeard. As far as I know, they're all borrowed. Including the red-haired Shanks, he also needs money. If there is no money, how can he have a party? He is not the kind of person who can rob things. One Piece Roger. That makes sense. Bang bang bang. Just as several people in the chat group were chatting happily, there was a burst of gunfire from the outside world. Golden Lion Shiki. Didn't we say we can't do it here? It's a bit of a slap in the face. The Golden Thief Wu Nan. That is two pirates fighting. One pirate wants to snatch the treasure of the other pirate. The pirate who started the first gamble here lost their fortune, and they will not care about anything after the Red Eye. One Piece and world government. Whitebeard. It was suppressed. This is the last resort of the Golden City to maintain order. If the world government and the pirate emperor's face are not good, then all those who do it can only be suppressed by force. Shiki the Golden Lion. Tesolo's own strength should be good, right? If he doesn't have enough strength, let alone suppress those who make trouble in the Golden City, he is just a piece of fat in the eyes of other forces.
Li Zan. It's alright. No less than the combat power of 7 warlords of the sea, the Golden Fruit ability has also been developed in awakened state. Outside world. A luxurious golden car pulled up, parked next to Li Zan and Sister Charlotte, and a red-haired beauty with a bold dress got out of the car. Lord Li Zan. I am Bakura, the tour guide here, and I am entertaining you by order of Lord Tesolo. Lord Tesolo is hosting celestial dragons and has no time to personally receive it, I hope you don't mind. The coquettish beauty with red hair said to Li Zan with a smile. What's the meaning? Tesolo is going to crush me with celestial dragons. Li Zan was half smiling, and the invisible pressure fell on Bakura, making her face pale instantly. Bakura reluctantly smiled and said, Why? You think too much. Celestial dragons often come to us, and every time Lord Tesolo will personally receive them. This time, as usual, there is absolutely no other meaning.
Li Zan accepted Conqueror's hockey and said indifferently, No best, since he doesn't have time now, I'll wait for him. Are you not a tour guide? Take me around here. Bakura nodded hurriedly and acted as a tour guide obediently, all the thoughts in his heart were collected. Even Li Zan couldn't bear the pressure at all. Bakura fully recognized his insignificance and naturally did not dare to think carefully. On the top floor of the Golden City, in a luxurious room. Guild Tesolo looked at Li Zan in the video and couldn't help frowning. Do you have to see me? Damn it, what does this guy mean? Tesolo didn't want to face Li Zan, after all, Li Zan's strength is much stronger than him, and even Kaido of the Beasts, the strongest creature in the world, is not Li Zan's opponent. If the two sides were in contact, if Li Zan attacked him, he would not even be able to escape.
Wait, maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he is having a good time and will forget about this. By the way, and Germa 66, they were involved in bringing down Li Zan. Li Zan came with them, maybe the target was them. Tesolo's eyes lit up suddenly, and he felt like he had guessed Li Zan's intentions. Li Zan Germa came here with the people of 66, and it must have come for them. As for why he wanted to see himself, maybe it was because he stipulated that he could not fight in the Golden City, so he had to ask his own opinion. Oops, Mr. Li Zan, you are very kind. Don't ask about it, you can do it yourself. Thinking of this, Tesolo waved and called a subordinate, ready to cooperate with Li Zan to solve Germa 66 in the Golden City. At the same time, he had someone call Marine and ask them to send troops to protect him. No, protecting the celestial dragons here. Celestial dragons, Li Zan, with these keywords, Marine will definitely send Marine Admiral over. Might send two. It would be better if Li Zan came for Germa 66. I cooperated to solve Germa 66, even if it was a loss of reputation, it didn't matter. But if Li Zan is coming for him, there is a Marine Master here, and his safety is guaranteed. After all, he is a big taxpayer of the world government. As long as he does not commit suicide, the world government will definitely protect him. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 99 Buy 1 Get 1 Free, 2 Giveaways. Mariajoy, Between Powers. When the 5 elders received the report from their subordinates, their expressions became a little dignified. The reason is simple, this matter is related to celestial dragons and Li Zan. Celestial dragons is the face of the world government, and Li Zan is the enemy that the world government is most reluctant to face now. Not only Li Zan is afraid of the world government is also afraid of Li Zan. The blonde 5 elders said, which idiot went to the Golden City? It's really going to give us a problem. Mustache 5 elders said solemnly, it's pointless to talk about this now, let's think about what kind of attitude to use to face Li Zan. The bearded 5 elders said, I don't think we should have a large-scale conflict with Li Zan now. Because he is so mysterious, we don't know how many cards and abilities he has. Knife-wielding 5 elders, I agree. Maybe we can beat him, but as long as he doesn't want to die, we can't kill him. Lion Fruit's abilities, clones, space shuttle. With these abilities that Li Zan has exposed, he is already invincible. The 5 elders, who have been in charge of the world government for many years, know that facing such an enemy must be killed in one hit, or they will face endless trouble. The curly-haired 5 elders said slowly, if you don't have the confidence to kill Li Zan, don't have a full-scale conflict with him. Otherwise, even if we destroy his power, we're just asking for trouble. Power. This is the reliance of Li Zan and the world government, and it is also their bondage. If the world government doesn't need to protect its own territory, all the powerhouses are mobilized and the ancient weapons are activated, no force in the world can fight against them. If Li Zan's power is gone, he doesn't have to worry about anything. An elusive super strong man, enough to kill the members of the world government into protected animals. The blonde five elders pondered. In this case, how about we talk to him about the conditions? As long as he can settle down, it doesn't matter if he pays some price. The other five elders nodded in agreement with the proposal. Calm down the pirates. World government is very familiar with this method. If nothing else, the four emperors' pirates were appeased by them. The four emperors' pirates had established self-government in the New World, and had been in peace with the world government for more than 10 years. To say that the two sides have not negotiated, it would be hell. As for whether or not it will breed tigers, the world government is not worried at all. After all, the world government is fundamentally different from the four emperors' pirates. The core of the four emperors' pirates is the four emperors himself, and the pirate emperor maintains the stability of the forces with his powerful strength. Once the four emperors themselves were in an accident, the gigantic forces would collapse in the blink of an eye. But the world government was different. Whether Marshal Marine died or the five elders died, the world government would not be shaken in the slightest, and someone would immediately step up to fill their vacancies. For the stability of the world government, the five elders have a strong sense of superiority. This is also their foundation. The Whitebeard pirates were powerful enough back then, but so what? When Whitebeard died, the Whitebeard pirates' weight plummeted, and now they have become Li Zan's vassals. City of Gold. Accompanied by Baccarat, Li Zan had a great time. How did my luck get so good? Incredible. Pudding looked at her little hand with a slap in the face. She had never lost since entering the casino. Li Zan glanced at Baccarat with a smile, and said slowly, "This is because someone gave you luck." Baccarat was stunned, and smiled politely and embarrassedly, surprised how could Li Zan know her ability. Bukcho asked dumbly, "Someone gave me luck." Li Zan nodded and looked at Baccarat with a look of admiration. "I didn't expect it. You can not only absorb other people's luck to increase your own luck, but also add luck to others. Tesoro has been smooth sailing these years, thanks to you. Credit." Facing the stunned eyes of Pudding and Garrett, Baccarat explained with a smile. "I am a Paramesha lucky fruit person, I can absorb the luck of others, and I can add luck to others." Pudding suddenly said, "No wonder we are so lucky today, it turns out that you have added luck to us." Baccarat laughed. "It's for you guys to have a pleasant experience here." At this time, a guy who looked like a giant tadpole emerged from the ground next to him, smiled and said to Li Zan and the others, "I am Mr. Tanaka, the subordinate of Lord Tesoro, and I have been ordered to tell Lord Li Zan something." Quote. Li Zan asked, "What's the matter?" Mr. Tanaka said, "Where are the people from Germa 66, we have already found out. If Li Zan-sama wants to deal with them, we can cooperate."
Li Zan chuckled. "You guys have hearts." Li Zan did not refuse Mr. Tanaka's help, and Germa 66 was one of his targets anyway. Since his number one prey is going to help him catch number two prey, what can he say? Choose to accept.
Golden City, within a luxurious room. IG and Niji sat here quietly, waiting for their old father Vinsmoke Judge's order.
The door was pushed open, and a girl in a pink combat uniform and a teenager in a green combat uniform came in from outside. They are the eldest daughter of the Vinsmoke family, Lei, and the fourth son of the Vinsmoke family, Yuji, and they are another team of Germa 66. Germa 66 has three teams fighting outside. Vinsmoke Judge, the King and Patriarch, formed a team with the core part of the Kingdom of Germa, mainly responsible for command work. The eldest son IG and the second son Niji form a team, and the eldest daughter and the fourth son form a team, mainly responsible for fighting. As soon as Yuji came in, he smiled at IG and Niji. It seems that you were lucky to come back alive. I heard that there are many forces attacking Li Zan's territory, and they all go back and forth." Ichi said coldly and arrogantly, "Don't be stupid. How could this kind of task fail us? We are Germa's highest masterpiece." Reiju asked curiously, "Have you encountered any trouble?" Niji said casually, "We met Jinbei, the former 7 warlords of the sea, and had a fight with him. Although he didn't have the power of technology, he was equally strong, but unfortunately he couldn't keep us." Yuji said with a look of disappointment, 7 warlords of the sea? You are lucky enough to fight against such an enemy. If I can't do it, I can only take soldiers to deal with some garbage." IG asked, "Is my father here yet? We agreed to gather here." Huang Mei shook her head and said, "Father will not come, I have already received the reward." Because the Golden City is not allowed to fight, it is very popular among the merchants in the underground world. Because it is safe here, there is no need to worry about the wrongdoing of the trade partner or the pursuit of marine. In addition to this, Master Tetsolo, who is 1/5 of the world's Bailey, also plays the role of the Underground World Bank. For many transactions in the underground world, the remuneration will be handed over to the third party, the Golden City. That's the case with the deal Germa just completed. Ichi asked curiously, "Why didn't father come?" Lei said, "My father has reached a cooperation intention with the Big Mom pirates, and is now heading to Wangguo. Not only him, but also us." Iji got up and said, if that's the case, let's go. Although the Golden City is very interesting, the three brothers Ig do not have the emotions that humans should have, and they are not very interested in this place. Isn't Judge here? What a pity, I wanted to wait for him to come, but now it seems that I don't have to. A faint voice suddenly sounded, the door of the room was pushed open, and Li Zan walked in with Sister Charlotte. Li Zan? Seeing Li Zan appear, Reiju and the others' faces changed greatly, their expressions suddenly became alert, and they looked at Li Zan with vigilance. The two of you who came to my place to make trouble are you two? Not bad. Li Zan looked at Ig and Niji, then looked at Yuji and Reiju beside them, and said with a half smile, buy one get one free, you two got me 2 more gifts. Ig and Niji looked ugly, and they never imagined that Li Zan would come here to hunt them down. Not only the two of them are blocked now, but Reiju and Yuji are also affected. Reiju said with a bit of strength from the outside world, Li Zan, this is the Golden City. This is the demilitarized zone recognized by the world government, the underground world and the pirate emperors. Fighting is not allowed here. Do you want to offend so many people at the same time? Huang Ji knew that he and others were not Li Zan's opponents, so he used the Golden City to intimidate Li Zan, hoping to make him retreat. However, Reiju is still too naive. Lord Tetsolo said that Germa 66 is not protected by the Golden City. Mr. Tanaka got out of the floor and sternly distanced himself from the relationship. Lei's face sank, and she smiled bitterly in her heart. 2. Although the reputation of the Golden City is important, it also depends on what it is compared to. If the price of protecting the reputation of the Golden City is to offend Li Zan, Tetsolo will definitely give up the reputation of the Golden City. Even if Tetsolo wants to protect the reputation of the Golden City, the world government and One Piece, who are bought by him, will not necessarily help him deal with Li Zan. Reiju, stop talking nonsense, go ahead and let him see the power of Germa. What pirate emperor? It's not worth mentioning at all in front of Germa technology, good Zhao Hao. The grumpy Yuji roared and rushed towards Li Zan. Lei Mei sighed softly, followed along with Ig and Niji, and the four besieged Li Zan. Germa's technology. Just right, let me see it. Li Zan smiled slightly, the ability of the golden fruit was activated, and the gold in the room turned into a fluid and spun in front of him. So good. A building made of gold, the ability to use the golden fruit is too convenient. Li Zan sighed in his heart, and a shield composed of fluid gold appeared in front of him, swallowing Yangji's arm like sand, and the liquid structure easily dissolved his power light. Spark, electric shock, poisonous, winch. The four Lei tried their best to keep attacking Li Zan. However, Li Zan was calm, with liquid gold constantly flowing around him, easily diffusing the attacks of Lei and others, and kept making fun of them. In the chat group, Howard Stark asked, is this the technology of Germa? It's interesting, the technology equipment on them is very good, I want to study it. One Piece Roger. Very poisonous, lightning, flame, these magical abilities that devil fruit can give people, and technology can also be so interesting. Li Zan. Howard Stark, you have to understand one thing. The battlesuits on them are not just mechanical technology, but a lot of biotechnology in them. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 100 Reiju's Sassy Operation. Game over. Li Zan and Lei 4 fought for 2 or 3 minutes, and found that they had no new tricks, so they ended the fight very simply. Gold turned into a big hand and grabbed the 4 of Lei. Niji took the initiative to meet him, trying to restrain Gold with the lightning released on his battlesuit. However, Li Zan's golden hand is wearing a top armament hockey, Niji's lightning is useless at all, and the 4 siblings are caught by the golden hand without exception. The golden hands that grabbed the 4 of Lei melted instantly, and made a golden shell on their bodies, with only one head exposed. Mr. Tanaka, you should go. Li Zan glanced at the large tadpole and unceremoniously issued an expulsion order. Mr. Tanaka did not dare to say much, and left very simply. The invisible conqueror's hockey was released from Li Zan, and several nearby phone bugs with different functions all fainted. Li Zan, we give up. Let go of. We, the kingdom of Germa will give you enough in return. Seeing Li Zan cast a malicious gaze on the 4 of them, Reiju spoke quickly, for fear that Li Zan would kill them directly. Enough returns. Sounds good. Li Zan raised his eyebrows and nodded lightly. Let's do it. Submit the scientific power of your master of the kingdom of Germa to me, and I will let you go. Ichi snorted coldly. Don't even think about it. Germa's technology is the foundation of our Vinsmoke family, and it will never be handed over to anyone else. Niji laughed and said, although the 4 of us are Judge's children, in Judge's heart, Germa's technology is much more important than ours. Yuji sneered. Don't say that Germa's technology is not here with us, and it will not be given to you here. Li Zan looked at Reiju and asked, is what they said true? Huang Mei said helplessly. It's true. Our father Judge is the king of Germa, but he regards Germa's technology as more important than us. For them, we are just tools. Hearing this, Pudding and Garrett on the side showed sympathy on their faces, and their gazes towards Lei and the others became much kinder. Both are tool people from the end of the world, why do they know each other when they meet? Li Zan thoughtfully said, that is to say, Germa's scientific power is all in the hands of your father, Judge 373? Reiju said calmly. That's right. Although each of the four of us has a snail boat, each of us masters a part of the territory of the Kingdom of Germa. But our masters are all parts that have nothing to do with science and technology. Their only ability is just fighting. Li Zan pondered for a while, and decided to create a shadow clone, and let him leave here quickly and go to the snail ship in Germa to confirm. Soon Li Zan's shadow clone was released, and the news from shadow clone entered Li Zan's mind. The snail ship of the Blue Four is a pure war fortress, and the science laboratory, clone cultivation room, etc., are not here. Li Zan looked at Lei and said, "Tell me, where is your father? He can really run, but my men can't lock his position." Lei shook her head and said, "To be honest, I don't know." Li Zan was surprised. "Don't know?" Lei nodded and said, "Yes, our Kingdom of Germa is a mobile kingdom on the sea, and there is no specific location. Because we are moving every day, it is normal for your subordinates to be unable to lock his position." Li Zan asked, "What about the lifeguard?" IG, who was on the side, laughed and said, "It's a pity that we don't have Judge's lifeguard on us. The reason is very simple. What he's guarding against is the current situation." Niji added with a grin, "If he wants to meet us, he will contact us on the phone, agree a time and place, and then meet." Yuji said indifferently, "Do you know why he did this? Because the lifeguard will reveal his position, and we won't." The frivolous behavior of the three brothers made Garrett a little annoyed, and immediately snorted. "Aren't you afraid of death?" IG proudly said, "What a pity. We are perfect human beings transformed by bloodline factor technology, and the boring emotion of fear has been eliminated." Niji laughed and said, "We are the best warriors in the Kingdom of Germa without fearing death and resolutely obeying orders." Yuji grinned and said, "That's it." Li Zan raised his hand, and the golden statues covering their bodies flowed instantly, re-solidified and sealed their mouths. After doing all this, Li Zan turned his head to look at Huang Dao who was beside him. "Reiju, how about deceiving Judge for me? Don't worry, I won't kill him. As long as you help me deceive him, I will let you go, and your brothers." Reiju said calmly. "The price is the scientific power of our Germa kingdom?" Li Zan patted his hands and smiled. "That's right, you who invaded my territory should have been killed by me, but because you masters have good scientific power, I'll let you live, isn't it good?" Lei Mei was silent. Li Zan smiled at Mimi's persuasion. "I have the power to penetrate the soul. You can't deceive me. Deep down in your heart, you have always hoped that Germa 66 would be finished, right?" Lei was taken aback, looked at Li Zan with a flustered expression, and said angrily, "What are you talking about? I am the princess of the Kingdom of Germa." Li Zan said with a half smile, "Princess of the Kingdom of Germa. It sounds good, but you know the reality. How cruel is your father, do you need me to tell you? Germa's technology, you don't like it?" Garrett looked at Reiju curiously. At this time Reiju was in a low mood. Li Zan said slowly, "Before you were born, your father used drugs to transform you with blood factors, so you were born with a physical quality that ordinary people can't match, and your invulnerability body is stronger than a shield, sturdy. Judge is very satisfied with the results of his experiments, that is, you. Then, he thought of a more extreme bloodline factor transformation. In addition to transforming the body, he also wants to transform the soul. Your three younger brothers are the masterpieces of his further experiments. They have the same strong body as you, but also have the soul that is not afraid of death, has no fear, and resolutely obeys Judge's orders. This is the kid Judge wants, a good soldier, the perfect tool. But you're at a loss for all this, because you find out that your three younger brothers can't even be called human. Especially when there is a contrast, compared to your mother who gave her life in exchange for, although not a super body but a gentle brother with human feelings. Vinsmoke Sanji. Hearing the name, Vinsmoke Sanji, Reiju paled in shock, looked at Li Zan and said, "What did you say?" Li Zan smiled. "I think you've heard what I just said, so, don't you have to repeat it." Reiju sighed lightly. "Okay, I agree. I will deceive Judge for you. Like you said, it is my wish to make Germa 66 disappear." Li Zan said with a half smile. "Are you sure you agreed to me for this reason? Why do I think you were worried about your younger brother? Not only these three, but also the one who ran away from home since childhood." Lei Mei's expression was stagnant, and she said pleadingly, "You said you wouldn't hurt them." Li Zan shrugged and said helplessly, "Don't think too much. When did I say I'm going to hurt them? I just sighed. You are such a good sister. Even if your brothers are so bastards, you still care about them." BFDH, said. Li Zan drove the three Zheng Yiji brothers. The three brothers were looking at Reiju with cannibalistic eyes, silently berating her for her betrayal. Reiju glanced at the three younger brothers with a complicated look, and said to Li Zan, "Let me out." Li Zan hit a finger, the gold on Reiju melted instantly, and Reiju regained his freedom.
She took out a phone bug from her four-dimensional pocket, looked at Li Zan and said, "What reason should I use to ask him to meet me?" Li Zan shook his head and said, "How much do I know about this? Make up your own." Huang Mei said speechlessly, "What if he sees through my lies?" Li Zan smiled. "Then I have no choice but to kill all of you four siblings and go to Wangguo to sit back and wait. Didn't you say before that Judge would go to Wangguo to negotiate with Auntie?"
Reiju's expression tightened, and he smiled dryly. "As far as I know, Judge has almost talked to the Big Mom pirates. If you go grab the technology of Germa 66 now, the Big Mom pirates probably won't agree. Li Zan looked at Reiju mockingly, and said with disdain, what if the Big Mom pirates won't agree? Do you think the Big Mom pirates can stop me? Dong's face froze, thinking carefully about Li Zan's combat power and record. The Big Mom pirates can't seem to stop him. In addition, let me introduce you. These are my two wives, Charlotte Garrett and Charlotte Pudding, daughters of Charlotte Linlin. That's right, I'm married to the Big Mom pirates. If I share Germa's technology with the Big Mom pirates, do you think the Big Mom pirates will stop me?
Do not be silly. If the Big Mom pirates cooperate with Germa, the Big Mom pirates will never get Germa's technology. But if they cooperate with me, they can get it. What do you think the Big Mom pirates will make? Li Zan looked at Reiju with a smile. The plain words gave her a heavy blow. Okay. Reiju was silent for a moment and took a deep breath. Don't worry, I will definitely trick Judge out.
Saying that, Reiju called Judge. Soon, the call was connected. A cold voice came from the phone bug's mouth. Reiju, what's the matter? Rei said, Father, where are you now? IG, Niji and Yuji are injured and need to go to your ship for healing. The best doctors and medical equipment in the Kingdom of Germa are on Judge's ship. When Gage heard that his 3 sons were injured, he immediately became nervous and asked, are they seriously injured? Let them talk to me. Lei said, they have passed out and can't talk to you. Judge said, where are you now? I'll send a hospital ship to pick you up right away. Reiju was dumbfounded. Send a hospital ship here? Well, won't you come? Judge said impatiently, I still have to go to IWC to meet Charlotte Linlin, so I don't have time to waste with you guys. Lei's heart sank, inexplicably a little sad. Even if his son was hurt and speechless, Judge was most concerned about his own ambitions. Judge said, if there is nothing else, just hang up, there is still a lot of work in the lab waiting for me to deal with. Reiju hurriedly said, wait. Judge said impatiently, what's the matter? If you have something to say at once, don't procrastinate. Reiju hesitated for a moment, then gritted his teeth and said, IG and Niji took over the mission some time ago to attack Li Zan's territory. Judge said, I know that, didn't they retreat? Lei said, no, after Yangji and I came to the Golden City to meet the 2 of them, Li Zan came over. The 3 of them were knocked unconscious by Li Zan. Judge was instantly excited. What did you say? The 4 of you were approached by Li Zan, and the 3 of them were knocked out by Li Zan, so how did you escape? Reiju hesitated for a while, and after looking at Li Zan, he said a little embarrassedly, I didn't escape, Li Zan let me go. Judge calmed down a bit and asked, why did I let you go? Huang Mei blushed and said, he wants to marry Germa. As soon as these words came out, Garrett and Pudding in the distance instantly entered the state, and looked at Lei with sharp eyes. I thought you were a good sister with the same disease and pity for each other, but you even thought of digging my corner? Judge on the opposite side was silent for a moment, then suddenly smiled. Marriage? It's a good idea. Li Zan's strength is much stronger than Big Mom. Lei was stunned for a moment, and asked in confusion, you agree? Ji asked, why don't I agree? All 4 of you have been arrested, can I disagree? Reiju was a little moved. It seemed that the 4 siblings still had some weight in Judge's heart. Unexpectedly, Judge said again, I could have chosen, but unfortunately the 4 of you are so rubbish that they were caught by Li Zan. If I don't agree with Li Zan's request, the 4 of you will die, then how could I? Isn't it a big loss? Lei Mei's expression froze, but she heard Judge say again, without the 4 of you, it would be difficult for me to cooperate with the Big Mom pirates. Although the 4 of you are not very talented, they belong to the Kingdom of Germa. Important combat power. Just combat? Do you agree, just because the pros and cons are weighed? Huang Mei's heart is dead. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 101. Heart and Lung Tetsuro coming back to her senses from the lost soul. Reiju saw Pudding and Garrett, who were eyeing her, and Li Zan, who was half smiling beside her. Huang Mei was immediately embarrassed and explained, don't get me wrong, I lied to Judge just now. Li Zan nodded and said, don't worry, you did it for me after all. I will find a way to help you realize your big words. Yellowface collapsed. What does this mean? It's not enough to have Germa's technology. Do you still want to be a princess of Germa? In the chat group. Whitebeard. Li Zan, that's enough. The little girl is already pitiful, so stop teasing her. Fire Fist Ace. I always thought that my life was the most unfortunate. Now it seems that there are many people who are more miserable than me. One Piece Roger. One Piece Roger didn't know what to say, so he could only send an ellipsis to express his complicated feelings. Fire Fist Ace. My mother, needless to say, she exchanged her life for my life. Although I haven't seen her, she has given me the greatest maternal love in the world. Fisher Tiger. I agree with this point. Your mother is a great woman. It's a pity that your father is not a thing and ruined her life. Fire Fist Ace. The Roger the First have always left me with only some infamy and hatred. As long as I hide my identity, they can't do me any real harm. Whitebeard. Silly boy, it's easy to say, how can it be so easy to do? The world government won't give up on chasing you. Who can truly ignore other people's opinions? Fire Fist Ace. I don't deny that my life is a tragedy, but I find it's not the most miserable. There are people who are more miserable than me. The Charlotte family and the Vinsmoke family are more miserable than me. Whitebeard. I don't refute this, they are indeed worse than you. Fire Fist Ace. Yeah, at least I don't have a mother who will eat my own mother, nor a father who will use me as a test, and no one will use me as a tool for marriage or sacrifice. The Gold Thief Wu Nan. If you really say it, they are really miserable. They were eaten by their mother and used by their father for experiments. Fire Fist Ace. Compared to them, I'm actually lucky. I have a brother like Luffy who is willing to risk his life for me, and a grandpa who cares about me although he cares about me like Garp. 7. One Piece Roger. Don't mention that Garp is your grandfather, we are still good father and son. Lee Zahn. Don't worry, I will never sit back and watch such beautiful girls with tragedies in their lives. Leave them to me, and I will definitely take good care of them. 7. Lee Zahn. Whitebeard, what are you trying to say? Oh, I get it. There is also a beautiful girl in your Whitebeard pirate group called the Ice Witch, I have seen her. Whitebeard has a message back. Lee Zahn. Don't withdraw, I'm serious, speaking of your Whitebeard pirate group full of sons, it's quite rare to have a few daughters. Don't worry, I only want the beautiful ones, and I won't touch the ugly ones. Whitebeard. I was wrong. Lee Zahn. No, you're right, thank you for reminding me of my negligence. Wait a minute, if I remember correctly, those female nurses who were in charge of treating you during your lifetime were all beautiful. Where did they go? Whitebeard. 4 Emperor's Whitebeard petitions for silence. After teasing Whitebeard in the chat group, Lee Zahn drew his attention back to the outside world. Glancing at Reiju, who was embarrassed and stunned, and Pudding and Garrett who were in a state of confusion, Lee Zahn shrugged and indicated that he would be away for a while. It will take a while for Judge to be here, so I'll do something serious first. 3 women in one drama. Unfortunately, Lee Zahn has no interest in this kind of drama. Take advantage of the time now, go and subdue Tesoro first. In a room on the top floor of the Golden City, Tesoro and his 3 confidants gathered here, fidgeting a little. As rumored, Lee Zahn has the power of golden fruit. Tesoro's expression was gloomy, and the appearance of a person with the same fruit ability was not a good thing for him. Raising his head, Tesoro said impatiently, "When will Marine arrive?" Mr. Tanaka replied, "We are heading in the direction of Naval Headquarters to shorten the distance of Marine's arrival. But even so, it will take more than 10 days to get here from Naval Headquarters."
10 days. Tesolo's face darkened. If Lee Zahn had bad intentions towards him, he would have passed the first 7 by the time Marine came over. Tesoro, don't be too hard on Marine. They have neither the ability to fly, nor the power of space, and it's good to be able to get here from Naval Headquarters in a dozen days. A faint voice suddenly sounded, a golden wall in front of Tesolo suddenly melted away, and Lee Zahn walked out of it. Lord Lee Zahn. Tesolo immediately showed a kind smile on his face and greeted Lee Zahn respectfully. Lee Zahn looked at Tesolo with a playful look, and sneered, "I heard that you are serving celestial dragons, now you are finished." Tesolo smiled reluctantly. "I wanted to see you when I came back, but at that time you were talking to the people from Germa 66. So, I didn't go." Lee Zahn nodded nonchalantly, and suddenly asked, "You are serving celestial dragons now, is there any difference from serving celestial dragons before?" Tesolo's body trembled, and he said without changing his face, "Since my golden city was built, I have had the same feeling when facing celestial dragons." Lee Zahn said in a low voice, "Really? Then when you used to be a slave to celestial dragons, did you feel the same as serving them now?" Brush. As soon as these words came out, Tesolo's face immediately turned pale. Beside them, the faces of Tesolo's 3 subordinates also showed shock. In the chat group, Fisher Tiger asked, "Is it true? This Golden Emperor Tesoro used to be a slave to celestial dragons?" Lee Zahn replied, "Of course it is true, and he has a lot of fate with you. He escaped from Mariajoy, all thanks to you."
Fisher Tiger was surprised. "Am I among the slaves that Mariajoy was freed by me, was he?" Lee Zahn. "That's right, in addition to the Golden Emperor Tesoro in front of me, there are quite a few big men among the slaves you released in Mariajoy back then. Golden Lion Shiki. Big shot. Lee Zahn. Don't get excited, the big guys I'm talking about are for ordinary people, but for you they are little guys." Outside world. Tesolo's face changed for a while, his heart was boiling with killing intent, and he almost couldn't help but shoot at Lee Zahn. Fortunately, his remaining rationality prevented him from doing such a moth to the flame. Taking a deep breath, Tesolo slowly calmed down, looked at Lee Zahn and smiled. "Lord Lee Zahn, you can't talk nonsense like this. Who can prove that I was a slave of celestial dragons before?"
This is a countermeasure that Tesolo came up with, and he will not admit it. "You say I am the slave of celestial dragons, I am the slave of celestial dragons. Ridiculous. How can you talk nonsense without basis?" Tesolo sneered in his heart, finding that he had nothing to fear at all.
The slave mark that celestial dragons had left on him back then, he had erased with bigger scars. There are so many slaves in Mariajoy, new and dead every day, no one can remember the name and appearance of a slave, not to mention that Tesolo is ordinary and featureless among the slaves. Who would have thought that a mediocre, skinny boy could become a famous golden emperor now? Not only that, Tesoro has also consciously cleaned up his past after acquiring huge wealth, bribing world government and celestial dragons. Slave traders, auction houses, slave managers of Marijoy, except for celestial dragons and senior officials of the world government, everyone who could possibly know that he was a slave has been wiped out by him. Looking at Tesoro, who regained his confidence, Li Zan sighed. It seems that you intend to deny it to the end. Actually, there is no need for it. Do you think I will tell others that you were a slave? Tesoro denied it expressionlessly. I have never been a slave. Li Zan sighed and asked with a puzzled look. I'm curious, how did you get along with celestial dragons? That was your enemy, who gave you the humiliation of being a slave and killed your beloved. Girls, don't you want to get revenge on them? Tesoro's body trembled and continued to deny. I'm not a slave. Li Zan shrugged indifferently, and sat back. A large amount of gold quickly condensed behind him, turning into a golden throne for him to sit down. It doesn't matter if you admit it or not, I need your strength to deal with world government and celestial dragons. You may have been a slave to the celestial dragons, or you have not been a slave of the celestial dragons. You only have two choices now, to take refuge in me, or be subdued by me. Li Zan stared blankly at Tesoro and issued an ultimatum. Li Zan, you. Too deceiving. Tesoro was furious, his face flushed with anger, and he roared at Li Zan.
Die. Tesoro roared. The ability of the golden fruit was activated, and the gold on the surrounding floor instantly turned into a fluid and was controlled by him. The fluid gold turned into golden spears with sharp tops. The body of the spear was soft and could be bent at will. It had both flexibility and attack power, and pierced through Li Zan fiercely. Stop. Li Zan gave a low drink without changing his face, and the golden spear stopped 3 inches in front of Li Zan, as if it had stopped. I have the same ability as you and the golden fruit, and we can all control the gold here. A battle of the same ability is like a wrestling between two people, and the stronger side wins. For flowers. Li Zan's tone was leisurely, the golden spear in front of him twisted and aimed at Tesoro behind him.
In front of me, you can't use the golden fruit ability. Maybe, you can try to beat me with taijutsu. Li Zan smiled brightly, and the golden spear slammed into Tesoro, driving him to the ground. Boss Tesoro. Seeing this scene, Mr. Tanaka couldn't help but feel anxious. He was loyal to Tesoro and charged towards Li Zan without saying a word. Go aside. A golden chain was bound towards Mr. Tanaka, but it passed through him and fluttered. The ability to wear fruit, not bad. Li Zan casually praised Conqueror's Hockey's precise sniping. Mr. Tanaka's face turned pale, and he felt that a large hammer had hit his spirit, and instantly fell down with his mouth crooked and his eyes slanted. Tanaka. Tesoro let out a low roar. Armament Hockey covered his body and used his physical skills against the golden spears pierced from all directions. At this moment, Tesoro truly realized the helplessness of his enemies when faced with the power of the golden fruit. Receive. The golden chains wrapped by Armament Hockey hit Tesoro from all directions, weaving it into a big one, and slaughtered him in it.
I surrender. The lucky girl Bakura chose to surrender very decisively. Her lucky fruit ability was useless in this kind of battle. This is a devil fruit ability that needs to be touched to activate, and she has no chance of getting close to Tesoro and Li Zan. In a room full of gold, Li Zan completely controls the field. So comfortable. Tesoro's third subordinate, a physically strong masochist, was completely knocked out by a golden hammer that covered the top Armament Hockey. Yuan, what do you want to do? Tesoro was hung up by the golden chain, watching Li Zan speak helplessly. He fought, but unfortunately lost. The person who knows the current affairs is Junji, and he does not want to die. Simple. What you did in the past, and what you will do in the future. You become my subordinate, don't let other people know. Send me a letter when you encounter important information, and ask me for instructions before making a major decision.
When I am determined to fight the world government, fight with me. Li Zan smiled slightly and opened his mouth. Okay, I agree.
Tesoro pondered for a while and agreed to Li Zan's request.
Don't worry. In order to prevent you from defecting, I have to take some precautions. Li Zan looked at Tesoro with a weird smile on his face. Create a shadow clone, let him use the Flying Thunder God technique to bring Trafalgar Law over, and take care of Tesoro. If you don't listen in the future. Li Zan squeezed the heart in his hand with a smile, and Tesoro's face instantly turned pale.
Done. The plan to pretend to be a snake has failed completely. Tesoro was heartbroken. After taking care of Tesoro's 3 minions, Li Zan asked Shadow Clone to take Bakura and Trafalgar Law away. Bakura has a decent devil fruit ability, it's a waste to stay with you. Li Zan simply explained that using Bakura's devil fruit ability to entrap gamblers is overkill. Li Zan asked Bakura, although her lucky fruit ability is also flawed, but it is different from Paramesh's abilities such as childlike fruit and retrogressive fruit. Once the abilities of childlike fruit and regressive fruit take effect, the effect is constant. Therefore, their development depends on the strength of the target. The higher the degree of development of devil fruit's ability, the stronger the target strength that can be affected. However, the effect of the lucky fruit's ability is not constant, and her development lies in the size of the effect.
The more the devil fruit ability is developed, the more luck it can absorb, which has nothing to do with the target's strength. In other words, even Baccarat, who has just eaten the lucky fruit, can absorb the luck of Marine Admiral and the Pirate Emperor, and his strength cannot stop the lucky fruit ability from being activated.
This ability is amazing. Li Zan decided to let her guard the prison and absorb the luck of Kaido of the beasts and others every day, which can greatly reduce the chance of Kaido of the beasts and others escaping. After Baccarat and Trafalgar Law left, Tesoro said to Li Zan, "First called Marine before, do you want to call them back? Make sure that he has no way to get off the pirate ship, and to deal with celestial dragons is also his wish." Tesoro changed his mind and took the initiative to confess to Li Zan what he had done before. "Okay, try it." Li Zan thought for a while, and said indifferently. Although he thought that Marine would not necessarily listen to Tesoro, after all, he was in the Golden City. Marine would probably think that he threatened Tesoro for saying so. However, this was the first time Tesoro showed himself, and Li Zan did not cruelly reject his kindness and let him do it. Superior.
Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 102 Golden Lion. His brother died not wrong. Under Li Zan's behest, the Golden City cruise ship changed course from the destination naval headquarters to Dressrosa.
Doflamingo single-handedly planned the actions of many forces to bring down Li Zan's territory, and Li Zan naturally would not let him go easily. Tesoro learned that Li Zan was going to settle accounts with Doflamingo Choho, and volunteered, "Lord Li Zan, are you going to deal with Doflamingo? When the time comes, will you let me take the lead?" Li Zan laughed. "As far as I know, Doflamingo is your important business partner. Are you trying to turn your back on you?" Tesoro said unconcernedly. "Lord Li Zan, my cooperation with Doflamingo is completely helpless. We both did the same business, but neither of us has the ability to defeat each other, so we can only choose to cooperate." Li Zan nodded and said, "I believe this. After all, Doflamingo has a deep hatred with you. Didn't you grab your golden fruit from his auction?" Tesoro said in astonishment. "Lord Li Zan, your intelligence ability is too terrifying, right? Since you can even know such secret things." "That's right, my golden fruit ability is indeed from Doflamingo's auction house. Snatched." Tesoro's face showed a sneering look. "I really don't know what Doflamingo thought back then, to put out such a precious devil fruit as an auction. When, 373, of course. He never thought of selling the golden fruit, he was ready to sell it and then snatch it back. Unfortunately, he met me, and this golden fruit was stolen. After I ate the golden fruit, I hid and practiced for several years before I started to emerge. By the time Doflamingo found me, I had become his rival, and he could not do anything about me. Because we are both afraid of each other's strength and have no confidence in defeating each other. We chose to cooperate because we didn't want to lose both sides, but we never gave up the idea of annexing each other, but there was no chance." Li Zan laughed. "So, are you trying to settle a grudge with him?" Tesoro said with a mysterious face. "It's not just as simple as ending the grievances with him. As far as I know, his identity is somewhat unusual. The news I got is too exaggerated, and I can't believe it."
Li Zan said indifferently. "Can't believe it? As far as I know, Doflamingo was once a celestial dragon's." Tesoro was dumbfounded. "How do you know everything?"
Li Zan sneered. "I know more than you can imagine. Not only do I know that Doflamingo used to be a celestial dragon's, but I also know how he lost his celestial dragon's identity." Tesoro asked curiously, "Can you tell me? I also want to know what the celestial dragons have to do to lose their status as nobles of the world." Li Zan said mockingly. "It is very simple for celestial dragons to lose his status as a noble in the world, as long as he voluntarily gives up this status." Tesoro was stunned for a moment, and said exaggeratedly, "Are you kidding? Who would give up such a huge right?" Li Zan smiled and said, "Doflamingo's parents, two innocent world nobles. They think that celestial dragons should be like ordinary people, and that human beings are the real greatness. So they took their two children and voluntarily gave up the world nobles' identity, became a civilian." Tesoro was dumbfounded, and everyone in the undead chat group was stunned. Whitebeard. "I thought it would be surprising enough that Doflamingo kid was celestial dragons. I didn't expect his parents to shock me more than their identities. Shiki the Golden Lion. Are these two crazy for giving up such a huge right? That's the identity of the world noble celestial dragons. How many people have dreamed of something that they can't get, and they actually gave up? One Piece Roger. How about these two? Fire Fist Ace. I want to know too." Outside, Tesoro also asked about the follow-up of Doflamingo's parents. Li Zan said blankly. After the Doflamingo family gave up their status as celestial dragons, they were escorted by the world government and went into seclusion in North Blue. With their fortunes that could not be spent in 3 lifetimes, they wanted to be ordinary people in North Blue, the rich.
It's a pity, however. Doflamingo's father was so naive, he took the initiative to tell others that he was once a world noble celestial dragons. You also know that there are countless people in the world who hate celestial dragons. They dare not take revenge on the real celestial dragons. So take the Doflamingo family out. Angry people destroyed the Doflamingo family's house, leaving them running around to hide and pick up trash to survive. Doflamingo's mother died of illness in those circumstances, and Doflamingo believes it was all his father's fault. So he killed his father with his own hands and returned to Marijoy with his head, hoping that the Celestial Dragons would accept him again. However, the Celestial Dragons group did not agree with his return, so he became a pirate. After listening to Li Zan tell Doflamingo's story, Tetsolo was stunned, never expecting such a wonderful thing to happen in the world. In the chat group, everyone is also discussing. Fisher Tiger. Although I hate Celestial Dragons, I think Celestial Dragons like Doflamingo's parents are innocent. Not only do I not hate them, I admire them somewhat.
Shiki the Golden Lion. What's there to admire? It's just two naive little brats. Taking things for granted and putting them into practice, they really paid the price. Gold Thief Wu Nan. Although the common people who were oppressed by Celestial Dragons are very pitiful, but those who vent their anger on the Doflamingo family, how do I think they deserve it? They deserve to die. Senju Tobarama. You are too rational. The people who have been oppressed by Celestial Dragons have accumulated too much anger, and when this anger has nowhere to vent, it is understandable to select the Doflamingo family who used to be Celestial Dragons. Gold Thief Unan. They are innocent. Senju Tobarama. Where are they innocent? What do they eat? Where, and use, which one does not have the blood and tears of ordinary people on it? Maybe they have good hearts, but they do enjoy the blood and sweat of ordinary people. Golden Lion Shiki. I agree. Regardless of whether Doflamingo's parents have good or bad hearts, they have everything that Celestial Dragons should have. In this case, they should enjoy the anger that Celestial Dragons should bear. Gold Thief Wu Nan. If you want to say this, the ancestors of Celestial Dragons created the world government, and it is also good for the whole world. That guy Garp can use his credit to protect his grandson from being naughty. What's wrong with Celestial Dragons charging some money? Whitebeard. That's amazing. Unan, how could you speak for Celestial Dragons? I remember you always had your heart on those ordinary people.
Gold Thief Wu Nan. I changed my mind this time, because I found that there are wicked people among those ordinary people. Li Zan. There's something wrong with your statement. Who says ordinary people are good people? Fire Fist Ace. Most of the ordinary people I face are good people. They're very nice and kind. Li Zan. That's because you are strong enough, so even if you eat bawang meal, they won't dare to attack. If you didn't have this strength, you would have been beaten to death by ordinary people for eating bawang meal.
Fire Fist Ace. Is that right? Shiki the Golden Lion. Well said. In front of me, let alone ordinary people, even the big pirates with a reward of over 100 million seem amiable. Why? Because lousy is better than them. Li Zan. If you find that some people are very kind to you, you must pay attention to the comparison of your strengths. Maybe they are not kind, but they dare not show your vicious side in front of you, and try to make yourself appear harmless. That's it. Golden Lion Shiki. That's it. Everyone is the same bastard, what are they pretending to be? Most of the good people just don't have the strength and courage to do evil. Li Zan. I don't agree with this. There are too many strong people with bottom lines and principles. Of course, there is no such thing as a fair and selfless person in the true sense. Gold Thief Unan. Digression, right. We're talking about Doflamingo's parents. Senju Tobarama said grimly. I think they are good people, but they are not wrong to bear the anger of the people. Like I said before, everything they enjoy is also the source of the suffering of the people. It's the same as eating human blood steamed buns. You can't feel that they are innocent because they feel guilty when they eat it, and you can't feel that they are innocent because they took a few pieces of human blood steamed buns and left the cannibal group. Golden Thief and Nan. Master, what do you think? Li Zan. What are you looking at? You are not a good thing yourself, what qualifications do you have to judge others as good or bad? Gold Thief Unan. Golden Lion Shiki. Senju Tobarama. Whitebeard. Old la 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 la. I don't think there are real good and bad people in this world, everything depends on their position and interests. But one thing, Doflamingo actually killed his own father, which really surprised me.
Shiki the Golden Lion. What's so surprising? You were also killed by your own son Teach. Whitebeard said solemnly. Teach is not my son. Li Zan. Don't talk nonsense, Teach can't compare to Doflamingo. One Piece Roger. Because Whitebeard is not Blackbeard's biological father? Li Zan. That's not true, because Doflamingo 3.7 not only killed his own father, but also killed his own younger brother. Blackbeard has less people than him, and failed miserably. Whitebeard. Is Doflamingo crazy? Fire Fist Ace also asked angrily. Why did he kill his brother? Li Zan. Because his younger brother joined Marine, and then returned to him as an undercover agent, secretly sending information to Marine to have him arrested. Later, his younger brother caused him to lose Op Fruit and his chance of immortality.
DF. Fire Fist Ace. Golden Lion Shiki. Then his brother died not wrong. Shiki, the Golden Lion of the legendary Great Pirate, said that anyone who dares to sell pirates to Tiaozi can't do anything about it. Doflamingo did the right thing, if he stopped because he was his younger brother, then he was an incompetent leader.
Fire Fist Ace and Whitebeard didn't speak either. Although the two of them also value the relationship between their families, they feel that Doflamingo did nothing wrong in this matter. The first to sell the seller is Doflamingo's younger brother. The people of the Whitebeard pirates are basically helpers and not relatives, and they are not the same as Doflamingo's younger brother. Li Zan didn't care about it. It's already a foregone conclusion. You see, it's useless if you look good or bad. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 103 Roger. The Golden Lion is cheap, Lord Li Zan, Dressrosa is in front. In the Golden City, Tetsulo came to Li Xuan and took the initiative to ask Zan to clean up the opponent. Li Zan graciously complied with his request, and Fisher Tiger in the chat group was also very pleased.
Although Tetsulo was dazzled by the gold and silver treasures and wealth he had already obtained, he chose to join forces with celestial dragons. But under Li Zan's heart-to-heart education, he has now come to his senses and is a good colleague who fights against the world government. Dressrosa. This is an island that looks like a flowerpot. There is a towering rocky peak in the center of the island, which is called the Highland of the King by the people.
The countries of the pirate world seem to like to build Wonghong on high mountains, and Dressrosa's palace is no exception. Doflamingo was stunned in a pink plush, sitting by the window with his legs crossed, scarlet glasses on his face, watching the increasing golden light on the sea in the distance. The golden light, gleaming in the sun, was expanding, and then the silhouette of a huge cruise ship appeared in Doflamingo's eyes. Tesolo's Golden City. Fufufufu, sure enough, he came for me. Doflamingo laughed in a low tone, turned his head to look at the other people in the room and said, "Several, I'll see you later."
In this palace room, in addition to Doflamingo, there are the newly appointed Marine Admiral, Fujitora, the long-serving Marine Admiral, Kizaru, the Marine Admiral, Momosugi who failed to take office, and came with a special order from the 5 elders government operatives, members of the CPO. After defeating Kaido of the beasts by his own strength, Li Zan is the new world's strongest man and the world's strongest creature. Of course, plus one of the world's most mysterious people. Fujitora opened the blind eyes of his defeat, frosted the power in his hands, and said slowly, "Old 15 Fu wants to have a contest with him, please ask Mr. Kizaru and Ms. Momosugi to scout for me." Kizaru put down the teacup in his hand, with a hopeless expression on his face. "We have to fight again. It's so troublesome. Can't we just drink tea quietly and solve the problem through negotiation? Hey, brother agents over there, you guys, did you come to negotiate with Li Zan? Or let you handle this matter?" The agent headed by CP0 took off the mask on his face, and said indifferently, "According to the order of the world government, our negotiation will be after your battle. We will have enough after you show enough strength. Bargaining chips." Kizaru shrugged, and said casually, "It's scary, with the orders of the world government, it's really good at making people." Rob Lucci, you are getting more and more prosperous now. Rob Lucci was unmoved, just looked at Kizaru coldly. If other people are stared at him like this, they can't stand it. But who is Kizaru? The cheeky old salted fish. Rob Lucci's eyes can't hurt him. I said that the old man knows that he is very handsome, and many people like to see it. But you can't look at the old man so directly, the old man will be shy. Facing Rob Lucci's gaze, Kizaru said with an embarrassed expression. "Come on, Kizaru Admiral." Momosugi stood up and said boldly, "It's time for us to meet Li Zan." Kizaru shrugged, stood up lazily, and said in a long voice, Okay, go meet Li Zan. But Rob Lucci, as a senior, I have to remind you." Kizaru turned his head to look at Rob Lucci and said with a serious look, "Wait a while to see Li Zan, don't be so rude, after all, he is not as kind as the old man. If you are killed by him, the world government will not stand for you." Quote. The port of Dressrosa, where 3 of Marine's large warships are parked.
Ordinary people have long since been evacuated, and what remains is Marine, who is on guard. Sure enough, the people from the world government and Marine have been waiting for me here. But this is normal, Garandazolo's speed is too slow. Standing on the top building of the Golden City, Li Zan looked at the sight of Dressrosa port in the distance, not surprised. He came here on the cruise ship Golden City, so it goes without saying how slow the cruise ship is. Ranked by the speed of ships in the pirate world. Cruise ships less than merchant ships less than pirate ships less than warships. In addition, the Golden City was mixed, so after the world government knew its heading, it could guess its destination by drawing a straight line on the map. So Fujitora and others who were supposed to go to the Golden City turned around and came to Dressrosa, waiting for Li Zan here. Just because of what Doflamingo did to Li Zan, they were not afraid that Li Zan would not come here. And judging from Li Zan's performance, his intention to come to Dressrosa has not been concealed at all. Hey! Li Zan's body moved and rushed out in an instant, approaching Dressrosa in an instant. Seeing Li Zan rushing in from a distance, the sailors near Dressrosa port let out a shrill cry. Alert, he's rushing over. Brush. Just when the Marines were in a panic, a figure appeared in front of the Marines, pulled out the power in his hand and slashed at Li Zan who was charging. Pin. Li Zan raised his hand and pointed at Fujitora's sword, turned his body backwards and stood in the sky, looked at Fujitora below and smiled. Marine Admiral, Fujitora smiled? Fujitora opened his pale blind eyes and gave Li Zan a simple and honest smile. It's right here, Admiral, who has just become naval headquarters, also needs to prove himself to the world. I heard that your excellency is the newest in the world, especially here. Ask for advice.
As soon as the words fell, Fujitora swung the knife, and a purple smoothness fell on Li Zan in front of him, and the heavy pressure forced Li Zan to the ground. Paramesha gravity fruit. Sure enough, it's the same as the ripe fruit. Li Zan thought about it, and lion fruit activated the ability to erase gravity, erasing all the gravity that Fujitora had exerted on him. In the chat group, the golden lion Shiki said stunned. Paramesha gravity fruit, this ability can actually cancel my lion fruit ability. Whitebeard. Shiki, you're lucky boy. One Piece Roger. Shiki is lucky. I suspect you are mocking Shiki, and have found evidence. The luck of the golden lion Shiki, needless to say. Every time he succeeded in a great feat and was smugly trying to conquer the world, the Son of Destiny would jump out and oppose him. Then the Son of Destiny just beat him, and God beat him himself. Shiki the golden lion. Don't mention luck, we are still good friends. Whitebeard. Don't get excited, that's not what I meant. Shiki the golden lion. Then what do you mean? Whitebeard. I mean, thank you for dying early, or your reputation would be ruined. One Piece Roger. After losing to Straw Hat Luffy, Shiki's reputation has not been ruined. Sure enough, you are mocking me Shiki. Shiki the golden lion. What does it have to do with the Straw Hat Luffy? It's not the crime of war to kill me today.
Whitebeard. Our three legendary pirates have their own characteristics. Needless to say, Roger and I have their own characteristics. Shiki's characteristics are difficult to catch. Lion Fruit's ability is so cheating that even Marine who owns Moonwalk can't catch him. Shiki the golden lion. That's the truth. If I hadn't fought to the death, Garp and Sengoku wouldn't be able to catch me. If I wanted to leave, who could stop me? Li Zan. If I remember correctly, it was raining in Marineford when you were making a fuss about naval headquarters? One Piece Roger. Ha 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 ha. I get it, no wonder Shiki didn't run away. No, it's lucky that Shiki didn't run away. Golden Lion Shiki. Nani? Li Zan. Flying to the sky during thunder and rain. Haven't you already tried this? Whitebeard. That's true. It's a pity. If Shiki had been struck by lightning back then, he wouldn't have made that mistake when he was fighting Luffy. One Piece Roger. Wait, I found a secret. Shiki, he has a vendetta against the rainy day. It rained in the Battle of Idwal, and the storm made him lose. It rained during the Marineford, and he was defeated by Garp Sengoku. It rained during the fight with Straw Hat Luffy, he was struck by lightning and failed. Golden Lion Shiki. Shiki was shocked, what Roger said made sense. Am I fighting against rainy days, and I will be unlucky when it rains?
Li Zan. Roger, you are too much. How good is Shiki, the golden lion? To save you from making trouble at naval headquarters, you still say that to him.
One Piece Roger. Stop making trouble. Is the golden lion making a fuss about naval headquarters to save me? He wanted to kill me himself, he's a scumbag. Golden Lion Shiki silently changed the subject. Whitebeard, what did you just say? Whitebeard. I mean, the devil fruit ability of this new Marine Admiral is comparable to yours. With him, the myth that your Golden Lion Shiki can't be rounded up will be shattered.
Whether it is Whitebeard or Roger, as long as the world government dispatches enough forces to round them up, they will surely be able to catch them. No matter how strong they were, they would have to face a group of top experts whose strength was no less than their own. It was impossible to break out of the siege. But Golden Lion is different, he has enough strength and the air dominance brought by the ability of ripe fruit, the top-level combat power of world government that can't fly is of little significance to him. But Fujitora appeared, and his ability can contain Golden Lion's flying ability, which greatly reduced his flexibility and made it possible for the world government to capture Golden Lion. Outside world. Failed. Is it? What a shame. Fujitora opened his pale blind eyes, and Observation Haki sensed Li Zan's situation and said with a look of disappointment. No, your abilities are very effective. 373 inches at the very least, it can hinder Lion Fruit's abilities. Li Zan smiled slightly and stretched out his palm towards Fujitora. Two diametrically opposed Devil Fruit abilities act on the same object, and the competition is based on the level of strength and the degree of development of Devil Fruit abilities. Fujitora looked at Li Zan with his pale blind eyes, and he felt a sense of unease in his heart. In addition to its own strength and the degree of development of Devil Fruit's ability, surprise and preemptive strikes are also very important. Li Zan chuckled. Lion Fruit's ability suddenly activated, and the sword that he had previously pointed with his finger flew out of Fujitora's hand. Snapped. Li Zan reached out and took Fujitora's sword in his hand, and said with a chuckle, good sword. Fujitora was stunned and smiled bitterly. How careless. I didn't expect that Lion Fruit's ability can also steal weapons. It's no wonder that Mr. Garp and Mr. Sengoku who defeated Shiki, the Golden Lion, didn't know how to use weapons. Li Zan fiddled with the knife in his hand and said with a smile, without the cane, what will you do next? As far as I know, your Devil Fruit ability is also used to release it with the cane. Fujitora touched his chin and complained with a bitter face. Mr. Li Zan bullied a blind man and took away his crutches, which is too much. Li Zan said with disdain, come on. Can a monster like you be compared with ordinary blind people? Brush. It was at this point that Marine's backup, Admiral Momosuke, made his move. She came to Li Zan in an instant, and the famous sword Jin Luo in her hand released a powerful slash. Pin. Li Zan waved his power to resist and looked at the heroic female Marine in front of him and smiled. I covered the blade with armament hockey in advance. It's a pity, so I can't touch your blade. The golden light bloomed, and a large group of light particles condensed next to Li Zan into the shape of Kizaru, and kicked out the knife in Li Zan's hand. The golden light bloomed. Kizaru's light speed kick was extremely powerful, and it kicked the power in Li Zan's hand away at once, making it fly towards Fujitora below. Thank you, you two, for your help. Fujitora spoke solemnly and thanked Kizaru and Momosuke with a serious face. He grabbed the flying staff knife, armament hockey and devil fruit abilities wrapped around the knife. Li Zan was so embarrassed just now that he had to pay back.
Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 104. Then play music, then dance. Fujitora held a cane and a knife, and said with a gloomy expression. Mr. Li Zan is right, surprise and preemptive strikes are indeed very effective moves. I suffered a big loss just now, and Mr. Li Zan took the weapon away. Li Zan looked at Fujitora with interest and said, then what do you want? Do you want revenge? Fujitora sneered. Becoming Marine Admiral as a recruit puts a lot of pressure on the old man.
Li Zan nodded understandingly and said, I understand. In order to stop other people's gossip, you have to show your strength.
Fujitora opened his eyes and shouted in a low voice, that's it. As soon as he finished speaking, Fujitora suddenly rushed towards Li Zan, slashing at Li Zan with the staff and knife in his hand. This knife carries the power of the gravity fruit, and it has at least 1,000 powers when it goes down, as if there is a hill falling with the blade. Drive. Li Zan raised his arm that covered armament hockey, blocking Fujitora's falling knife. Seeing this, Kizaru and Momosuke, who were not far away, lit up and killed Li Zan without saying a word. Siege. Marines 3 Generals vs. Li Zan. It's a good taste, but unfortunately I don't have a news agency in my hands. Li Zan smiled slightly, facing the siege of Momosuke, Kizaru and Fujitora without any confusion. Flying Thunder God technique. Li Zan's figure flashed and disappeared in an instant. All 3 of Fujitora's attacks were in vain. Momosuke was stunned. Is this the spatial force that Li Zan once demonstrated? Fujitora used observation hockey with his eyes closed, and after a moment pointed to the Golden City Road in the distance. He's there. Kizaru pouted and said casually, it's scary to run such a long distance in an instant. Momosuke frowned. It's really a tricky ability. We can't beat him at all without restraint. Flying Thunder God technique. Li Zan's figure reappeared, holding a long golden sword in his hand, and used the EI slash against the 3 of Fujitora. 1 sword and 1 go a flash of dragon killing. Top-level swordsmanship and top-level armament hockey wounded all 3 of Fujitora in 1 move. The 3 Fujitora, who thought Li Zan had run away, had no idea that Li Zan would return to the carbine. Did I say it? Surprise and preemption are scary. Li Zan raised the golden long sword in his hand, flicked it lightly, and said to the 3 Fujitora with a smile. It's scary. Kizaru rubbed his stomach with a solemn expression, but his old hippie smile was gone. Don't worry, I'm using the back of a knife. After all, I have a good sense of marine, and I don't want to kill you. Li Zan smiled slightly and waved his hands to reassure them. The surrounding Marines were dumbfounded. When Li Zan was forced to retreat by the Fujitora 3, they were still rejoicing, thinking that Li Zan was nothing more than that, and would still be beaten by their Marines to retreat. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, their Marines' 3 major forces were wounded by Li Zan? Even if Li Zan hadn't kept his hand, the 3 major forces would have been severely damaged. The strange space power. I thought that this ability could only be used for travel or support, but I didn't expect it to play such a big role in actual combat. Misstep. It seems that even if the 3 of us join forces, it may not be Mr. Li Zan's opponent. Trouble. Fujitora touched his head and said helplessly. He didn't realize that Li Zan had already left the Flying Thunder God mark on his sword. After Li Zan grabbed the knife with his ripe fruit ability, he left the Flying Thunder God mark on the knife. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to appear beside Fujitora and others in an instant. People in this world lack vigilance against the spells of the ninja world. Even if others saw the pitch-black incantation on Fujitora's knife, they wouldn't think of Li Zan's space ability. You are not my opponents? It is a matter of course. The difference in combat power between you and us is that you lost in intelligence. I know both your abilities and my own abilities very well, and you know nothing about me. Li Zan floated in the air, looking down at the 3 Fujitora below. I don't want to fight with you, can you please stay out of the way? Kizaru pulled his hands together and used golden light particles to condense into a long sword. This is his weapon, Tiankong Cloud Sword. Kizaru held the golden long sword and said helplessly, no way. We have been ordered to suppress your arrogance, so you can't give up like this. Li Zan laughed. Really?
Then there's no way. Saying that, he stretched out his hand and hooked his fingers at Fujitora, and the knife in Fujitora's hand rose to the sky. Get down. This time, Fujitora didn't let the knife slip out of his hands.
He clung to the stick and knife, and flew with the stick and knife. Then used his devil fruit ability to increase the gravity of the stick, counteract the buoyancy force Li Zan exerts on the stick and let it fall to the ground. Really sorry. My lion fruit ability can permanently mark objects, and the marked objects can be manipulated by me. Mr. Fujitora, you shouldn't be able to erase my mark, right? If you can't erase the mark, I suggest you get another knife.
Li Zan smiled and reminded very kindly, if you don't give up this knife, you won't be able to fight with me. Fujitora's face was gloomy. He had to admit that Li Zan was right. As a weapon, the most important thing is to be handy. However, after his knife was touched by Li Zan, he could be remotely commanded by Li Zan at any time. Fujitora felt a little tired when he thought that when he was fighting Li Zan, he had to devote a lot of energy to guard against backlash. If it weren't for the fact that this knife is also a famous knife, and has had a relationship with him for decades, Fujitora would have thrown it aside long ago. In the chat group, Shiki, the golden lion, was surprised. Lion fruit still has this kind of usage. It's a misstep. There were many people who used weapons in the Roger Pirates. I knew that I would touch their weapons one by one.
Whitebeard. I have to say, this ability of lion fruit is a bit pervert. As long as it is a weapon that has been touched, it can be controlled, and there is no way for those who use weapons to survive. Sword God Ryoma. Is this ability really that strong? I don't see it with my own eyes. It always feels a bit exaggerated.
Li Zan. Don't worry, I'll show you guys. You see, Fujitora has started to test the knife. Fujitora from the outside world is holding a cane sword and trying to use it to perform swordsmanship. When Fujitora swings the sword to the east, Li Zan controls his sword to fly east. Fujitora swings the sword to the west, and Fujitora controls his sword to the west. Fujitora raises the sword to make a slash, and Li Zan controls his sword knife up. Fujitora threw the knife on the ground with force. The broken knife was useless. No matter what posture you do, you must prevent it from letting go, and it will lead you around if you are not careful. With such a disobedient weapon, it would be good to be able to use half of one's strength. Seeing Fujitora's self-defeating appearance, Momosugi on the side was dumbfounded and couldn't help asking, Mr. Fujitora, isn't your devil fruit ability comparable to lion fruit? Li Zan smiled and interjected. Miss Momosugi, you don't have enough knowledge about devil fruit's abilities. Lion fruit abilities and gravity fruit abilities just cancel each other out in certain effects. Fujitora said solemnly. That's it. The lion fruit ability can lift or land objects, and my gravity fruit can do the same thing. When the two of us use different devil fruit abilities to have opposite effects, we will cancel each other out. Li Zan clapped his hands and said, that's right. It's just the similarity and restraint in the effect of the ability, so the gravity fruit ability person can't remove the mark left by the lion fruit ability person. Fujitora sighed lightly. That's right, that's it. However, you don't need to worry too much. The old man just lost his usual cane and sword, and he can still use an ordinary sword. Fujitora waved to the sailors in the distance, and ordered, bring me a knife, with a knife. He faced Li Zan in the sky with a dignified expression, and said solemnly, this old man is reluctant to give up the sword that he has used for decades. As long as he catches you, the hidden dangers on the sword can be eliminated, isn't it? Li Zan nodded and said, that's right. However, after losing your usual weapon, are you sure you can still use your original combat power? Fujitora snorted coldly, don't underestimate the old man. Although the old man is only a blind man, he also has the title of a monster. In the chat group, the golden lion Shiki said stunned, this is the end. Changed a knife and cracked this trick. Whitebeard. Shiki, your brain is really getting weaker and weaker. Are there still few powerful moves that can be deciphered once you know the details? It seems that your head has become more and more dull after being stuck by the rudder. One Piece Roger. As Li Zan said before, intelligence, surprise and preemption are all very important in battle. If you could control my sword with lion fruit by surprise, maybe I would die in your hands. Gold Thief Wu Nan. In the real battle, it is easier to change a weapon that is handy. After all, not everyone is like Li Zan, who calmly waits for you to change the weapon.
Li Zan. It's mainly because I don't want to kill him, and I've never considered lion fruit's ability to control weapons as a unique trick. How can I use such a trick to kill a strong man by surprise? A certain disdain for it. If you can use your own strength to win, why use conspiracies? Outside world. After changing weapons, Fujitora strode forward and faced Li Zan with Kizaru and Momosugi. No way. Do you think of dancing that much? Well, then play music, then dance. Li Zan smiled lightly, and hooked his fingers at the three Fujitora. Come on, I still have many new tricks, and I want to play with you. The three of Fujitora frowned slightly, feeling insulted. They killed Li Zan without saying a word, and the three joined forces to besiege Li Zan. This time, Li Zan did not leave with the Flying Thunder God technique. He spread out the territory of the tyrant, released the top observation Haki, and carried out a mental shock to the Fujitora three who were approaching him. He unfolds the top-level observation haki, with future fragments constantly appearing in his mind, accurately avoiding danger and capturing opportunities.
He used his top-level swordsmanship, combined with top-level armament haki, to defeat 3 enemies in melee combat, and even gained an advantage. The faces of the 3 Kizaru became more and more solemn, and their eyes were full of horror when they looked at Li Zan. This person's strength is a bit exaggerated. Even the former Kaido of the Beasts, Whitebeard, would be at a disadvantage in the face of beatings from 2 admiral powerhouses. At most, hold on as long as the Golden Lion, and there is absolutely no situation where 1 enemy and 2 are not defeated. But what happened to Li Zan in front of him? Not only did he go 1-on-2 against 2 strong admiral opponents, but he even got a backup admiral who was not inferior to Marine Admiral, giving him the advantage with 1-on-3. The yellow monkey's face changed. As an old salted fish, he can pat his chest to show that he is not paddling now, not to mention Fujitora and Momosuke next to him. In the face of 3 top-level masters with full firepower, they can still do their best and have an advantage. How can such a person really exist? Surprise. It doesn't have to be. My talent is 1 level higher than yours, and it is normal for me to be stronger than you.
What? You said that your talent and strength are already the top in the ocean. Please. There are too many tops like you, and they are not really tops. There are few top talents like me throughout the ages, and they are the real top talents. Li Zan saw the doubts and surprises of the 3 of Kizaru, and while fighting them calmly, he explained to them calmly. Snapped. 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 Li Zan suddenly freed up his hand without the sword, slapped each of the 3 Fujitora on the body, and then pulled back suddenly. Game over. Li Zan smiled at the 3 Fujitora. Momosuke frowned. What did you do? Surprised, Fujitora quickly said, you want to use Lion Fruit's ability to control us? Kizaru shook his head and said, impossible. As far as I know, Lion Fruit cannot act on life. Li Zan smiled and said, that's right, Lion Fruit's ability can't let life be controlled by me. But, the clothes on your body shouldn't be life, right? As soon as these words came out, the 3 Fujitora were immediately stunned. If you don't want to show your body in front of everyone, it's best not to move. Li Zan showed a warm smile to the 3 of Kizaru, but this smile seemed a little scary to Kizaru and the others. The surrounding Marines were also stunned. How could the Battle of the Admiral have such a development?
Pose up, you. Seeing that Li ignored Zan and the others and wanted to enter Dressrosa, Dao couldn't help but take a step forward. Sing. Good Zhao Hao. Before Momosuke could finish her words, she felt that her clothes were tight, and she had a tendency to pull her to the sky. If your clothes are sturdy enough, I don't mind taking you for a walk in the sky. Of course, don't think that's all I can do. Li Zan smiled at Momosuke and raised a stone beside him. It was the land Li Zan had touched. As Li Zan clenched his fist, the rising stone shattered inch by inch, and the outer shell shattered into dust.
Do you understand? I can make your clothes tear automatically? Beautiful, Ms. Momosuke, do you want to show me a good figure? Li Zan looked at Momosuke with a mild expression. Momosuke was embarrassed and angry, but he retreated from his heart. It would be better to die in front of so many people. You actually threaten a woman with such a method, despicable. Momosuke, who had returned, was unwilling and scolded Li Zan angrily. Despicable. You don't know what's good or bad. I have a good sense of marine, that's why I let you go. Otherwise, you'd be dead and wounded long ago. And this country, if I fight you here, this country will definitely not continue to exist, and the entire island will sink. I'm so kind, yet you call me mean? Li Zan's expression became serious, looking at Momosuke with some annoyance. Momosuke was a little embarrassed, and stubbornly defended. If you were really so kind, why did you quit marine?
Li Zan sneered and said with disdain, I think you have already understood this issue. It is because I am kind that first quit marine. Momosuke was instantly speechless. Mr. Li Zan, we are here to negotiate with you under the orders of the 5 elders. At this time, the CPO led by Rob Lucci came out and resolved the awkward atmosphere here. Li Zan smiled and said, 5 elders want to negotiate with me. Interesting. Well, I agree. Light. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.